pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Apply now at GoForestGrid.com. Forest Grid Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Take your dining to a whole new level at Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant. You'll find the finest cuts of steak and the freshest seafood in an amazing atmosphere. Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant is at Chaffee Crossing, across from the Arkansas Colleges of Health Education on Chad Colley Drive. When your night deserves the best, call 597-4081 for reservations or book online at Toast. Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant, your destination for not only great food, but an amazing experience.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Cuco's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Cuco's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, a chance of a few isolated showers or storms. Our high temperatures today will be into the lower 90s. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, and overnight low will drop down into the low 70s. Wednesday, ample sunshine, a high into the lower 90s, and another sunny one on Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grid Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 67 days. Coming to you live from the Crab
watches it get out of here. Gackle sets and deals. He struck him out swinging. And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
In this 5 days a week, no games to plan for. Start to get into a little bit of a summer routine, and it's starting to feel really good. I'm Phil Elson. Good morning, Matt Jones. Good morning, Kristen Johnston. Routines usually for us are based on the season. Football season has a certain feel to it. Basketball season has a very certain feel to it, and baseball feels different than the other two. And then there's summertime, whenever the baseball season ends, and that's its own thing. It's just a lot quieter, a lot slower. It's actually an attractive way of life. Matt Jones could get used to this. But then again, once we get to August, it'll all be about the hype of football and the excitement of the pigskin, and then I guess we just get into that routine, whatever it'll feel like.
Well, happy Tuesday, Phil. Sometimes it is nice just to amble on. That's kind
of what I've been doing.
Yeah, just kind of a little amble here, a little amble there, and stretch your paws a little bit. Eat good, sleep good. Get you a stretch in.
Get your mind right.
Get your bone broth in. Just don't make me eat the beak. I don't want to eat the beak.
Yeah, it's a good thing I'm having beef broth today. If there's a beak in the beef broth, we've got something wrong there. That's right. Well, yeah, it's just getting into the routines of being outside in the morning. Got outside last night. I don't usually take 2 showers during the athletic season. I don't need it to. Every once in a while, there's a baseball game, because we don't really play in the heat of the summertime too much. But if you're the College World Series, heck, the day that Gage Wood threw the no-hitter,
it was 100 degrees. Yeah,
it was like 94 degrees. It felt hotter than that on the field. So yeah, showered in the morning, showered when you got back to the hotel, and I guess I've kept that routine up too because right now, Matt, I smell as good as I'm going to smell for the rest of the week.
Well,
I'm not telling you to smell me.
You're at the home studios, and I've taken 2 showers. I got up at 5:30 this morning. I've already taken 2 showers before I went to work.
Isn't it nice? It's like that's what parents would do when they've got young kids. You figure, well, you really only get some privacy and solo time in the bathroom, so you can extend those times out. I probably was never cleaner than when my kids were, up to about 4 years old. Figure, why is Dad taking another 45-minute shower? Well, it's to get away from you two and actually enjoy a little quiet and a little comfort.
Or if you're Mother Costanza, it's like, I come in the bathroom and you're treating yourself like an amusement park.
Just don't pay attention to all the dolls that look like her right now. Goodness gracious. Hey, we found out, and I didn't plan on this. Ty had reached out, I guess, either to the White Sox or to his representation. We're going to have Andrew Benintendi on the show on Thursday.
How cool.
Yeah, have we had Benny on the show since we've been doing halftime over the last 7 years? I can't remember.
Not with me. Maybe before, but we haven't.
I can't remember all the guests, but yeah, I mean, my first year doing Razorback games was the year Benny won the Golden Spikes in 2015, and he was. The team really rallied around him. I don't know if I'd say he was an emotional leader of the team, but he without question was the best player.
Did he win a ring with the Bo Sox? Was he on one of those, that last team that won one? He was there, right?
2018 World Championship. In fact, he made, I think it was, if not the best, maybe the 2 best defensive plays of that series in left field. He kind of made a Jumpman style catch, like the Jumpman logo, looked just like that. And he might have. Did Benny make the catch that ended that series? Was it a diving catch in short left field? He hasn't really been the same player since, though, Matt. That's the thing. It's not. We'll get into that with Benny on Thursday because I think we're talking more about Arkansas baseball and about what's now a trend and a brotherhood at Arkansas baseball of 3 Golden Spikes winners over the last 11 years, which is 10 awards that they've given out, and what that means to him to be the first. Because you think of all the success that program had leading up to finally getting a Golden Spikes Award winner. Now you've got 3 of the last 10.
Well, and what did he do with it? You just want to kind of hear how his life's going, catch up with him, and is it sitting in at Baum Walker? Is it in the workout room? Where is the Golden Spikes? Where because like usually your Heisman Trophy, unless you're O.J. Simpson. You keep it in the late great, but whatever.
Or Reggie Bush.
Yeah.
Did he get it back? Did he get that one back?
I think Johnny Manziel went to battle for him, and I think that's why.
That always helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you got Yanni.
I think the school gets one and the athlete gets a trophy.
Okay, I didn't know there was 2 of them. Yeah.
So I think. Because
I know McFadden's Doak Walker, which I guess he was back to back. Whenever I went into the I don't think it's called the Walton Art Center, Broyle Center, maybe is that what it's still called? His Doak Walker's still sitting in there.
Oh, that's awesome. I was even looking at this too. So yesterday, Baseball America. Well, I guess it was this morning. Baseball America. Now we have 2 awards that go to Player of the Year. Just like in football, college football's got 3 awards. There's the Heisman, the Walter Camp, the Maxwell Award, which goes to the most outstanding player. So it can be anybody. We get the same thing in baseball. It's just there's 2 awards. There's Golden Spikes. There's Dick Hauser. And then, the publications that really focus on college baseball do their own awards. We still haven't seen the D1. We still haven't seen the D1 Baseball Award, but Rock Chalowski was named Baseball America Player of the Year, the shortstop from UCLA. Lodis, the shortstop for Florida State, won the Hauser Trophy, and then Vahiva, of course, wins the Golden Spikes. So that's 3 different awards for the same idea. 3 different shortstops win the award. Isn't that amazing, really? Because we knew this was a great year for shortstops, and it turns out you got 3 of them that basically win almost. I mean, it's the same sentiment behind the award, just different awards and trophies. And you almost had the same thing in football this year because Travis Hunter won the Heisman and the Walter Camp and Ashton Ginty won the Maxwell Award, which, I mean, I think when it comes to those two were by far and away the ones that you knew would be the award winners. It was just a matter of whether or not you believe Ginty's numbers belonged, with what Hunter did, playing both sides against Power 5 competition. But for the Golden Spikes and all the other baseball awards, I think it's just a matter of truly what stood out this year in college baseball wasn't necessarily one player over another, because there are years where there have been guys that just stand out. Last year it was Condon and Caglianone. The year before it was Skeens and Cruz. But then there's some seasons like, Benny. He stood out in a way that I don't think most others did. When Kevin Kopps won in 2021, I mean, he might have been, he should have been a unanimous decision. This was much different this year. And the fact that it's all shortstops, I mean, how many of these kids, I was looking at the incoming freshman class for next year's baseball team, Matt, got like 6 shortstops on the incoming class. Maybe one of them plays shortstop when they get there. Yeah, so it's like these guys here, if you're a good shortstop in college, that doesn't mean you're a shortstop in the next level, but these guys I think will be.
That's kind of what I was going to ask you is, like, when you see, Andrew Luck, RG3, Peyton Manning, and your Ryan Leaf. Sometimes you get kind of Trey Young and Luka Doncic. They were traded on this pick back and forth. These three college kids, are they all going to the show next year? Will they be kind of like, will you kind of like group these three together?
And I think Lodis is draft eligible. I know obviously Aloy is because he's been here for 3 years. But Chalowski has another year of eligibility, so he'll be the Bruins shortstop again next season. So I mean, that's another rare thing. That's like
UCLA pay him enough money? Would a guy like that be on the move? Like if you're LSU, you go out there and try to get him. Like, is he? Because I liked his game watching Arkansas play UCLA. I thought he was their best player.
If you need a shortstop, you put your best foot forward. LSU wouldn't be in that position because Milam's got another year. Yeah. So they'll have the same shortstop next season. But it's interesting. You think about a Southern California team, and heck, I mean, so you go. Norm DeBryan goes to the College Baseball Hall of Fame, along with a lot of other players that were announced yesterday, and a lot of them played for Southern California teams, and they were Southern California guys. San Diego State, USC, UCLA, Fullerton, Irvine, those kind of places. And David told me this when we're leading into the game with UCLA. He'd never coached a game against UCLA. It's a week ago that we played UCLA and the last win of the baseball season for Arkansas, the 50th. And he said that's one of the programs now that's really good at being able to keep the California kids in California. You look at so many of the kids from Arkansas and even like LSU's roster littered with kids from Louisiana or California, even Arizona in some cases. The Hogs do the same thing. Gackle was a UCLA commit, Matt. Gabe Gackle was a UCLA commit, and I think the way it went was the day after the Bruins announced their switch to the Big Ten, Gabe left his commitment to UCLA because he wasn't committed to go play in the Big Ten. But if Chalowski's there now and he's stuck with his commitment, my bet is, they either put all the all the NIL money or whatever revenue share that UCLA is going to do into Chalowski, because otherwise people are coming for him. Yeah, because he's got one more year left. And the Norm DeBryan going into the College Baseball Hall of Fame is about as cool as it gets for us right now. 2 years in a row, you get somebody to go there. And we'll get into that in a moment, but here's what's halftime today. Opening up the Lewis Automotive Hotline for the next segment, 877-377-6963. Going to have Alyssa Orange in about 20 minutes, and then Clay Henry joins us at 12 noon for the remainder of the show. Of course, we're just a couple days away from the NBA draft. Where will Adu Thero slot into the draft? We've known he's stayed in there for a few weeks. And, we'll kind of try to construct what the baseball roster looks like. Got some anniversaries to get to. And Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, for a little college football touch at 1:15. So we'll come right back after this on Halftime. Thanks for tuning in with us on this very summer-like Tuesday.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee. Are you looking for the best?
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Choose your escape. Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Take a luxurious dip with the $5 Classic box. Indulge in a lavish meal with the $7 Supreme box. Or explore new worlds with the $9 Discovery box, now featuring the crispy chicken burrito for a truly unmissable experience.
Is that Tony Hawk?
Get Lux for less, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
East Coast summers living on the run. Now the beachfront nights, 5,000 thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine. Now the seaside.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier. They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course. So shop at Roback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your sports betting action. And with baseball in full swing and football season right around the corner, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting. From MLB, UFC to tennis and NFL futures, BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Head to the website today and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. Bet online. The game starts here.
And now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Just got you tonight. You can see I'm not people driving. Anyway, I've got no place to go. It's no that I feel that bad. You're the best I ever had. Buy it over years ago. May not be enough. Tomorrow we can drive around this town. Let the cops chase us around. Something might be found in Tennessee.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Did I see that Gin Blossoms is on a tour? Are they still together?
Their lead singer, just like the Sublime lead singer, just like Alice in Chains. There was a thing. There was a bad vat of dope that was going around in the 90s, and so their lead singer OD'd years ago. But I think they, what was the Blind Melon, like their lead singer, Sublime. You just go
Shannon
down the
Hoon.
list. Yeah, that's he hadn't been around much longer, but yeah, they still doing their thing.
I know. Did I see that is Gin Blossoms part of a tour with DMB and
Let me look. Yeah.
And I forget the other band they might be with, but so Dave Matthews might be doing a show at the Momentary. I think it's in October, so that's really cool to know. Because if it's not
It says
athletic
Conway,
season,
Arkansas, September 9th.
Is Conway? Goodness gracious.
Reynolds Performance Hall, Conway, Arkansas, Gin Blossoms. Yeah.
No kidding. It would bring back all the high school memories, Matt. All the good ones, all the bad ones.
Don't underestimate nostalgia, Phil.
I think the world thrives on nostalgia right now.
Well, probably it's a little overrated, but
877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive.
You got to be
hotline.
like Oklahoma City's mantra this year: be where your feet are. We're not worried about the past. We're not worried about the future. We're worried about the present. And that was their mantra. Be where your feet are. Be aware what's going on in the moment. Let's don't wish for things past.
So then right in the moment, Ryan in Hot Springs is waiting on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. We'll be in the moment with Ryan. Hey, Ryan, how are you?
Hey, buddy. I hope y'all having a great Tuesday afternoon. I had a question for you because they were talking about, I've heard on other radio shows, apparently Norm and is our second one, Jeff King's the other.
King went in last year, so he's the first Razorback to go in. He was in the 2024 class.
So here's my question for you then. What's the knock on Kevin McReynolds? How come he's not in it, or have they just not got to him yet?
I can't imagine there is a knock on him, so I wouldn't know how to answer it. To be eligible, I'm reading right off the page on the MLB website. To be eligible for the College Baseball Hall of Fame ballot, you got to be out of college 15 years, completed 1 year of completion at a 2-year institution, either in community college, junior college, NCAA. Ballot eligible coaches, retired 2 years. He's eligible. I don't know what it is, but we say the same thing about college football players in the Hall of Fame. Why is that guy not in? And I just have a sense there's got to be an answer, and we don't know what the answer is, because I was thinking the same thing with Norm being inducted. Well, he's not inducted yet. He will be inducted. You think, what the heck took so long? I mean, he's been retired for 23 years, for crying out loud. The College Baseball Hall of Fame has been around since 2008. What took so long? So I don't know how to answer your question, Ryan. I could imagine, though, Kevin McReynolds with the numbers he had at Arkansas and the success here. And then I don't think they count the major league career, but he had a really nice major league career, too. He should be in at some point.
What was there's another one, too, I would have thought would have been in the Hall of Fame, too. The black guy, I think he played third base, and he played for the Pirates. I may have his position wrong.
That's King.
I cannot think of his name.
That's Jeff King. You said that is Jeff King.
Okay. Okay. That name doesn't sound right for who I'm picturing, but okay. I don't know the old guys. I mean, like I said, I've only been a fan since 2012. So in fact, I can actually tell you the player that got me into it, because I grew up in a household that didn't think much of baseball, and growing up, I didn't think, because I wasn't exposed to it. I didn't realize how athletic, how athleticism was in baseball. I happened to be over at a buddy's house, and a guy I went to high school with Trent. Oh crap! Now his last name escaping me. He's a relief pitcher for Arkansas from Bryant. Well, anyway, he come in and they threw a guy out at second against South Carolina, and that's kind of what got me into baseball.
Yeah, he's and I know who you're talking about exactly too. That's and I'm looking numbers up here, names. Trent. Daniel. That's who it is. That's exactly who you're talking about, Ryan. So, yeah, it's good to know you're a baseball fan. Micah and Harrison thought you're talking about Johnny Ray, but you said white guy, and Johnny Ray is not a white guy. He played second base for the Pirates, so I'm not sure if we crossed ourselves up there. Good to hear from you, Ryan. Thank you.
And Jeff King has one of the all-time great mustaches. Am I misremembering that?
He was doing the mustache back when it wasn't even like really cool.
Like your boy for the Yankees that didn't get to play in a World Series either. Was it Mattingly? You know,
That's right.
Keith Hernandez had a good mustache, but Jeff King up there, I mean, he's got a good like a push broom mustache.
Is it safe
Yeah,
to
that's
say-
what it was. It was the push broom. Yeah, it was just like it was the Magnum PI mustache.
Yes, Tom Selleck.
winning
You
the
don't do-
Golden Spikes? Does that qualify you pretty much automatically? Because we've got don't we have 3 Golden Spikes winners, and they're all Hall of Fame worthy.
Oh, I would hope so.
They'll be in there. Yeah, they'll be in there.
It just takes 15 years to be eligible. That's
Yeah.
all you got to wait. You just got to be patient.
And we've had I didn't realize this, it didn't click, but the 2 best players in the country were an Arkansas Razorback in softball and baseball this year.
Which I don't think that's ever happened before.
Yeah.
And remember, there was all these different awards. There's probably 2 or 3 softball player of the year awards, just like there is for baseball. But it seemed to me Bree Ellis was far and away ahead of everybody else. Not quite the same with Vahiva.
Would she be on Caitlin Clark's level, Phil? Like if we're talking women's sports, and I know Caitlin Clark took the world by storm. I even said she should have went back to college for another year to the amount of money she was making. But I'm sure she did the right thing. But if you have a chance to make that type of money in college, it's just so much easier on your body. But is Bree Ellis, would you say, man, that was like that's like, because you don't like to use the word generational unless it's there. I mean, not that you don't like to use it. You hesitate to call somebody generational.
You want to use that word when it's
Caitlin
proper.
Clark's generational. You know, like, is Bree Ellis, was she generational?
I mean, it felt like she had that kind of
Like on the
season.
cusp, yeah.
The only thing is what we go, and there's a difference between generational and then being the flashpoint that leads to just this almost unforeseen popularity in your sport. And I don't feel that from softball right now. You know, women's basketball, it's on my TV all the time right now, Matt. WNBA. I don't watch because I'm just not. I don't watch a lot of professional basketball. I got nothing against the league whatsoever. I think it's great, and they've got their own, time of the year where it can shine aside from the NBA.
You know, if your daughter, if Mrs. Mina Kimes Jr., if she was into it, you would. That's the same with me. My
Probably.
sisters played college basketball. That's the most women's basketball, like, high school. And so you kind of, if there was a reason to, I think you would be into it.
But also, we feel the same about softball, right? But I don't think there's been. I mean, Bree Ellis is already playing pro ball. Isn't that amazing? You think about how in the WNBA women's basketball, you go from the draft almost immediately to your camp and then the start of the season. And in softball, they've done the same thing, just like baseball too, where, we're having our NBA draft on Thursday and they don't have to worry about a game until October. But that's what Bree Ellis did. The season ended earlier than they would have liked, and she'd already been drafted 3rd overall. That's another difference too. Caitlin Clark, I think, was 1st overall, and I think Bree went 3rd. There's nothing against it. It's just you're looking at
Like to see the 2 other ladies that went ahead of her.
yeah, there's something to be 1st overall, I guess. But and she's already playing, and I know that that softball league is on television. It just the WNBA is everywhere right now. I mean, it's even the way that there's all this hacking on Caitlin Clark and her teammates trying to back her up and all of that. This is how Sophie Cunningham, who everybody here at Arkansas despised when she played at Missouri because she played with the same style that she's playing now, kind of as Caitlin Clark's
Kind of an
enforcer. Absolutely. I mean, that's like
Rodman was for the Bulls.
It's Marty McSorley for Wayne Gretzky. That's exactly that's Roger Clemens throwing at a guy because one of his teammates threw at his teammate. That's what that is.
It's it's one of my favorite receivers that's from Texas A&M, Mike Evans. Whenever he had Tom Brady's back, somebody did something to Brady and he just goes and was like, "I'll take a game suspension for this. You don't touch my quarterback."
Yeah, that's what's going on there because even that's one of the major stories, and I'm not following the stories out of the Athletes Unlimited softball league. It's just they're already behind the WNBA and women's basketball in terms of popularity, and I don't know if it'll ever get there. So I don't know if I could compare Bree Ellis directly to Caitlin Clark, But doesn't it feel like at some point, because softball has some momentum, it's a different sport than baseball, and it also is sharing the same time of the year. WNBA is its regular season right now, right after the end of the NBA Finals. So those who, might need their basketball appetite satiated somehow and not through watching the Summer League, which I guess is coming up soon, well, you might do it through the WNBA. Anyway, I think softball fans might like to watch baseball sometimes, but I like to watch baseball, not necessarily on television, and that's the issue for me right now. The Travelers, where I live, they're on the road. I'm trying to pick up a team to maybe watch. I would like to maybe pick up the Seattle Mariners because they've got this catcher, Cal Raleigh, who is, I think he leads the American League in home runs, a catcher who's already hit 32 bombs. He has the best nickname in baseball. His nickname is the Big Dumper. They sell jerseys with the name Big Dumper on the back, for crying out loud. I mean, this isn't even a matter of the movie Men at Work, where you could have done the same thing. But maybe I need to be a Mariners fan. The only problem that means, Matt, I can't do that. Not this time of the year, because first pitch for those games isn't until freaking 9:35 or 9 o'clock. I'm not staying up to that.
So the Mariners can hit. They have a great offense. And it's not just Cal Raleigh. He's good, but, man, I tell you, their whole offense is good.
Sounds like C. Mariner.
They just played the Cubs. They just played.
That's how you know.
Yes.
That's how you know. What'd you think of your boy Sammy Sosa? Or do you have a connect? How do you feel about Sammy Sosa as a Cubs fan? Who I don't even think really. You ever watch Sosa play with the Cubs? Were you around then?
I loved watching him. I just kind of don't have like a large sample size. I feel like I watched him, and then I remember him like competing with McGuire,
98, 99.
And then I just remember him corking his bat, and then it just, after that, it just kind of.
And then he got the Michael Jackson treatment. His skin he started turning into a yellow-white person.
He looked a lot different than he did when he was first playing with the White Sox.
Yes,
for crying out loud.
he did.
Fortunately, a lot
Rangers.
of pain
he came up with the Rangers.
I was in Miami with a couple buddies, and we were on some rooftop hanging out. It's off season, and we're talking to some ladies. You know how you do when you're in your 20s and stuff. And no lie, Sammy Sosa walks in with whoever his people are, like a bodyguard or whatever. The two ladies we were talking to didn't even talk to. I was like, I didn't even exist anymore. They went and started. I was like, I guess that's how it goes being Sammy Sosa.
You could have tried to pound your chest and kiss your fingers and stick them up to the sky. And
baseball been very, very good to me.
Didn't even work for you, no. 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive hotline. Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation joining us in a moment. First, want to remind you about the Fence Man. If you're looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong, if you don't have the Fence Man's number, then write it down. 479-782-3936 for the Fence Man. Been serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, building custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. If you need automatic gates, the Fence Man does it. 18-month financing available as well at the Fence Man. Go to thefencemanAR.com or call 479-782-3936 for the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. Right back after this with Alyssa Orange.
The only green I like's in my quarterback, and that's Taylor.
This is Halftime.
Platinum selling artist Tyler Barr is coming to Harrison, Arkansas at the Creekside Amp this Friday. Tickets on sale now at creeksideamp.com and start at only $20. Tyler Barr with special guest Sadie Bass, along with Chris Luno and the White Buffalo. Tyler Barr live at the Creekside Amp in Harrison this Friday. Get tickets at creeksideamp.com.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust with an unheard of 15-year spring warranty option. Grit is the team you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR.
See dealer for details. At Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway, Van Buren, there's never been a better time to buy. Stop in today and check out our huge discounts on new Chevrolets and pre-owns. No reasonable offer will be refused, and at Rhodes, we always give you more for your trade. Plus, we offer free pickup and delivery. You can even buy remotely. Stop in and let us show you the Rhodes way with our 2-year complimentary maintenance program on every vehicle sold. Experience the Rhodes way. Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway, where you get the best prices, period.
Experience Razorback football on the Hill this fall as quarterback Taylon Green, defensive stalwart Cam Ball, and the Hogs will be returning to action for great home matchups, including the August 30th home opener, the first ever matchup with Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, on September 27th, and a matchup against Texas A&M inside Razorback Stadium for the first time since 2013. Secure your tickets online right now at ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
What do Formula One, the Peanuts cartoon strip, and Jay Leno all have in common with Crabtree RV Center? Yes, you guessed it. They are all celebrating 75 in 2025. Crabtree RV Center is so thrilled to have seen 75 wonderful years of business in the River Valley, and we want to celebrate with all of you. Come in today and take advantage of our 75-year anniversary sale going on every day at Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas. Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, parts, and rentals. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for 75 years.
Got a pest? Call West. If you have pest or termite problems in your home, call West today and learn how their 50 years combined experience can help solve your problems with competitive pricing and quality services, all designed with your pets and children in mind. Call today and schedule your free estimate. They even offer Saturday services and long life attic pest control. Call 782-7291. West Termite and Pest Control, protecting your home health and peace of mind.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Well, I knocked to a window to leave her a note. Will you call me at the back of the grove? All the trees were in bloom. That's the smell in the air. We were trembling together. We were young, we were scared, yeah. True love.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend, Matt Jones.
Let's go to the Lewis Automotive Hotline, and Alyssa Orange is joining us. Where I last saw Alyssa was in Omaha last week. Our phones were broken, so we couldn't talk to her on a Tuesday, even though we had a night game with UCLA. And Alyssa, missed you last week. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I missed you guys too. I'm glad to see the phones are back up and running. Just, sad to see Omaha go the way that it went. I know we didn't talk much about it last week, but I know everyone's talking about it. So,
yeah, I mean it's still fresh in our minds, right? I mean, it's a week ago from the last win, but it was a great season, and it's even been punctuated by the HEVA winning Golden Spikes, Coach DeBriyn going into the College Baseball Hall of Fame. You know, does that blunt, do you think, a little bit of the, you know, just the way that it ended?
Oh, well, it's nice to have some good news right after that all happened. And when Arkansas lost to LSU the way that they did, it could have easily just been the end of the season. But to have Vahiva win the Golden Spikes Award, which was really big for him, you know, because Alex Lodis won the Dick Hauser Award, and you just didn't really know if Vahiva was going to win the Golden Spikes, and for him to do it, to be the third guy to do it at the University of Arkansas was big. And then, of course, Coach DeBriyn getting that well-deserved honor of being a part of that 2025 class for the College Baseball Hall of Fame with that ceremony happening in February. Just really big things to be like, oh yeah, just a good reminder, not only how good the team was this year, but how historically well they've performed under both Coach DeBriyn and Coach Van Horn. And it's nice, you know, it's a nice little positive tidbit, but I think if you were to ask any Razorback fan, they might have traded all of that for a national title.
Yeah, they might have. They might have. Maybe even the players and even Coach DeBriyn would say the same thing. You know, looking back on this last athletic calendar, though, and it's all over. It was a successful year. You know, outside, I guess, of maybe volleyball, women's basketball. Teams made the postseason. Had some success when they got there. And we're kind of used to that now, though, too, aren't we? I mean, you're at a place where you feel like it's time for soccer to make it to that Final Four. It's time for softball to make it to Oklahoma City. You feel like you're at the place where men's basketball may make that first trip to the Final Four since Coach Richardson. You know, we're all in that place where you still, like the national title for baseball, there's still another jump forward that you still believe is achievable for all of these programs.
Yeah, I think so. And that's like that next step mentality, right? And you talk about volleyball and women's basketball just having down years compared to the rest of the teams. But, you know, football made a bowl game, right? Basketball made the postseason and made a run, which we didn't even know if they were going to make the postseason about midway through the SEC slate for men's basketball, and they were able to turn things around and do that. And then even gymnastics taking two athletes to the national championship meet. You know, the next step for Jordan Weber and her program is qualifying as a team and taking Arkansas to compete for a team national title. Soccer, you know, Colby Hale and his group continuing to try to play to go to Cary, North Carolina, and play in the Final Four there for soccer and win a national title. It's just that next step mentality, and it's like, what program is going to break that ceiling first? Is it going to be the men's basketball team? Is it going to be the soccer team? Is it going to be the softball or the baseball team? You know, and they're all looking at track going, how you keep winning these national titles? Please tell us all your secrets, because track has done it time and time again. But I think overall sometimes people forget that when you're looking at football, basketball, and baseball only, that sometimes it feels like the full success isn't always there, and you have to take a step back and look and see exactly what, you know, even look at women's golf, and you had a women's golf team that was ranked number one for a very long time during the year. You had Miriam win a national title. I mean, it was just a really good year top to bottom, and sometimes you forget when you're only thinking about the big three.
Hey, Alyssa, what was your favorite moment from this baseball season? Now that we've had a couple days to digest it, was it Gage Woods' no-hitter there in Omaha? Was it Vahiva Aloy's just body of work, just making play after play? What was kind of your, when you think about this season, is it even Norman DeBriyn getting into the College Baseball Hall of Fame at the end of the year? What would kind of be your takeaway favorite moment of this baseball season?
Oof. Yeah, that's a tough question. I had someone ask me that earlier this week, and I'm like, man, that's really hard to pinpoint exactly a moment. I think Gage in his game that he pitched was pretty incredible, and I think it was special. I had run into his parents the Saturday before in Omaha and talked to them, and just how, excited they were for him, for this team, just the hard work that he's put in to rehab and get back from his injury, and to then see him go out and perform that way for his first time in Omaha was really special. and cool. I wish I'd have seen it in person like Phil did, but watching it on TV was pretty cool too. You know, I always just keep going back to going on the road and beating Vanderbilt and sweeping Vandy for the first time under Dave Van Horn's tenure. And I know that might not sound, sexy or thrilling or whatever, but I think it was that moment where it was just like, okay, like this team, I just remember the feeling of being like, wow, like that's what this team is made of. Okay. And then it kind of just snowballed from there. And so anytime I think back, it was just like, if I could pinpoint a moment, it might be that Vanderbilt series in Nashville.
The ones for me, now Gage's no-hitter for me is the best. That's the greatest thing I've ever called. So that takes the cake for this year and every other season as far as I'm concerned. But the moment where they ran into the crowd after the Super Regional all really stood out for me in terms of just a moment, not an on-field thing, but it was it was just something that was unexpected. And I do wonder the next time the team goes to the College World Series, if they play at home, if they'll do that, if that kind of becomes a bit of a tradition.
Yeah, I'm sure that the coaches would love that instead of the dog piles.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know. I wouldn't want a dog pile.
I think the fans would too.
I tell you, things that stood out
I wouldn't
for me
want to be
was
on the
also
bottom of that.
Well, you mentioned about the Vanderbilt series, also the Ole Miss series. You know, when you win road series, the way that they won those two series, you know, ripping Ole Miss's heart out and then sweeping Vanderbilt. You go on the road and do that. Well, to me, that means you've really got something, especially with a program like Ole Miss. Guess who football's first SEC game is this year? And guess where it's taking place? It's in Oxford. It's against Ole Miss. There's going to be plenty of former Razorbacks on that team as well. And you know, if you want a way that you can buy into the football season, a win over Alabama A&M is expected. A win over Arkansas State feels mandatory. You beat Ole Miss on the road. Yeah, I think everybody will buy in.
Yeah, I think so too. And what a way to start SEC play, because I think, you know, for football rivalries, right? Like everyone is going to talk about Texas, and everyone is going to talk about, you know, A&M and the way that in Missouri, even though, you know, Arkansas fans feel the way they feel about that rivalry. This Arkansas Ole Miss matchup has turned in, specifically over the last like 10 or so years, into a very contentious, rough rivalry, depending on, you know, regardless if you're playing in Fayetteville, if you're playing in Oxford, and you look at the history with the 4th and 25 and them coming up here and beating you, and you going down there and beating them, and then, you know, the one time they won on that last second field goal under Bielema, and then, you know, the whole Lane Kiffin stuff, and you know, Chris Paul went there, and then all of a sudden you had 3 other Razorbacks join them this postseason. It is going to be a very, like, just from a fan standpoint, I don't know exactly, you know, how these teams look at it, but from a fan standpoint, I don't think that there's a game on the schedule that Arkansas fans might want more than that win at Ole Miss in Oxford.
Hey, Alyssa, I was thinking, you know, Isaiah Joe, Jalen Williams just won a ring. Bobby Portis, Moses Moody, Jordan Walsh, other Razorbacks to win a ring. Gafford played in one last year, just signed an extension.
Yeah.
Arkansas basketball is in deep in the NBA right now.
It is, and it's really cool to see, specifically with these guys that we've covered over the last couple of years, like Bobby. And Bobby was here my first year, my first 2 years covering the Razorbacks, and so it's been really cool to see him and for him to still be an impactful player in the NBA. And Moses doing what he's doing and at Golden State, and Daniel Gafford, and those guys, just, you saw the love that they had for Arkansas when they were here, and now they're going on and taking it into the NBA, which is really cool. I was talking to Jalen Williams' dad yesterday, and I just sent him a text and said, "Congratulations, like, that's awesome." And he was like, "Yeah, we're in Oklahoma City, and you know, things aren't always easy, but here I am, the father of an NBA champion, and it's all worth it, and I'm just so proud of him." And it's really cool, not only for those guys, but for their families, and you know, Fort Smith, you know, for Fort Smith to have 2 guys on the same team who are former Razorbacks who played together in high school, now winning an NBA title is really neat. But it's cool, and hopefully that continues. You know, it's sometimes funny to look back and be like, you know, maybe they would have loved to have a little bit more success when they were in college. But you've got guys who are really developed into solid players in the NBA, and that speaks to what they were able to accomplish and how they were able to grow at Arkansas and then at the next level. So it's been really neat.
Let's leave it there, Alyssa. Up against the break. Appreciate you hopping on with us today, and have a great another week of summer. We'll do it again Tuesday next week.
Yeah,
okay?
thank you. All right, we'll talk next week.
We talk with her every Tuesday here on Halftime. Alyssa Orange, 877-377-6963 for a call or a text on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. And we're back to wrap up hour number 1 right after this.
As being a fan, there's a fire that burns in me just like when I was 7 years old, my first game in Little Rock, Arkansas.
This is Halftime.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Summer is here, and Gelco Outdoors has the outdoor gear for you. Hiking boots by Salomon, running shoes by Under Armour, fishing shoes by Extra Tough and Under Armour, dry fit fishing and outdoor clothing by AFCO, Ariat, Drake, Hook, and Under Armour. Take advantage of the hot summer deals on summer clothing with buy one, get the second at 50% off. See store for details. For all your summer fishing, Gelco has the gear. Hunters, get ready for bow season. Gelco Outdoors, your one-stop summer store. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Razorback fans, it's Omaha time. Gear up for every tailgate and watch party at the Party Place, the River Valley's largest locally owned party supply superstore. All the Razorback decor you need, from cups, plates, banners, and even beer hats. Heat up summer with luau supplies, Hawaiian shirts, paperware, leis, and more. Get ready to light up the 4th of July with red, white, and blue decorations that'll make your celebration sparkle. Shop local, celebrate big. Shop the Party Place, 7810 Rogers Avenue behind Ashley's Furniture. Go hog wild with the Party Place, where every celebration starts.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Hey guys, this is Ethan at Wheeler Power Sports, and we want you to stop in and see Drew at our apparel department. On-road or off-road, we've got you covered. Helmets, jackets, gloves, footwears, and everything in between, from top brands like Alpine Star, Icon, Scorpion, RST, Bell, and many more. Also, see Lane and team at the Wheeler Power Sports parts department. From standard maintenance items to custom accessories and add-ons, Wheeler's got you. Wheeler Power Sports, 901 North 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Left town, been awful lot gotta fix around. Nobody upstairs, don't stop and shout. Nobody at the back door, nobody down the house. She holds the shotgun while you don't sit down. She was one man, made a look neat and surrender. I've been awful lot these years, she's gone. Hit a miss, hit a miss, hit a miss.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Oh, hey, we mentioned Daniel Gafford in the last segment, Matt. It's going to be a very rich man. 3-year contract extension worth $60 million.
No state income tax. He just played in the finals as well the year before, man. Arkansas basketball, and then you get Coach Cal with all his connections, SGA and the Kentucky guys. Man, Arkansas basketball's in a good spot.
Absolutely. So this is would this be the third contract for
I think so.
Gafford?
I think so. Well, it's an extension, but yeah, this is probably his last big payday, which I'd say
cool.
$60 million is a decent last big payday.
And seeing his first salary when he was drafted by the Bulls, just under $900,000. First got over $1.5 million with the Wizards in 2020, 2021. Was making 12.4 with the Mavericks, and now he's going to be at $20 million.
Wow,
that's pretty good. He already made over $18.5 million in his career, and now he's going to be making more than that next year. Just next year, he'll make more than he made in the previous 5 years combined.
is that a great example of just getting better, like in the NBA, like how your game can improve? Because I guess he was a little raw coming in, but I mean, he's almost as polished as you can get. I mean, as far as what
he's a top 5, top 7 defensive big man in the league. Like you said, Christian, you're right. Raw on the offensive side, more oops, more like DeAndre Jordan was with Lob City back years ago. So he's got a little game. Bobby Portis has his offensive game is for real. But I think defensive, what he does and knowing his role. Man, I don't know that there's 7 better centers in the league that are better defensive centers than
but
Gafford.
also just knowing exactly what he's good at offensively and just being so good around the rim. He's averaged 20 points per 36 minutes last year. I mean, this is a guy that can still score. He's not going to be shooting from the outside at all. But, stick back dunks. And
you saw what Hardenstein was doing for Oklahoma City a little bit. That's what who would you take, Hardenstein or Gafford? That's kind of – Hardenstein doesn't have an offensive game. He's a defensive guy, crash the boards, block shots, get rebounds.
They're really similar. I just think Gafford is obviously
a little more athletic. Springy.
Yeah, but that's about it. I mean, maybe a little better at the free throw line, but not much. I mean, they're pretty similar.
Who's making the most in terms of Razorbacks in the NBA? Would it be Portis? I think he'd be making more than 20 right now. I have to check on that.
Yeah, he might have signed a friendly deal with them. Malik Monk is probably making the most. Austin Reeves, if you're talking Arkansas kids,
yeah.
I think Malik with Sacramento is making he's making 15 a year. I know that.
Hall of Famer Clay Henry joins the show for the next couple of hours. When we return after this quick break, you can get with us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Appreciate you joining us today on this Tuesday. We are right back in a moment.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
Fords Grid Incorporated, a company known for paying top wages and benefits, has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. For nearly 90 years, Fords Grid has built the foundations of the River Valley, and now you can become a part of that legacy. Apply now from any device at GoFordsGrid.com. That's GoFordsGrid.com. Do you finally want to get paid well for your work? Do you want to work for a company that treats you like family? Apply now at GoFordsGrid.com. Fords Grid Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Adventure doesn't wait, and neither should you. Start your next journey at Arkansas's #1 fifth wheel dealer, Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. No matter the size of your family or your budget, Wheels RV has a new travel trailer or fifth wheel to help you explore the great outdoors. And with our exclusive lifetime warranty on every new RV, you can hit the open road with peace of mind. Come see us on 412 in Tawnytown or check us out at wheelsrv.net. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, a chance of a few isolated showers or storms. Our high temperatures today will be into the lower 90s. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, and overnight low will drop down into the low 70s. Wednesday, ample sunshine, a high into the lower 90s, and another sunny one on Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith.
The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in
67 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
But they were one race back.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
And welcome back into halftime at 12:01 in the afternoon. Beautiful and very hot day to be talking sports and whatever else pops into our minds with you on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. I'm Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston in the studios, and we'll be bringing on Hall of Famer Clay Henry in just a moment. Matt, I had made an error on the radio host on the momentary concert. It is Blues Traveler. I said Dave Matthews.
You said DMB.
Yeah, I meant Blues Traveler.
Yeah.
Blues Travelers, Spin Doctors, and Gin Blossoms. Although I don't see Gin Blossoms on the actual announcement of it. But yes, that would bring it all back to the 90s. And of course, if you're putting those acts up on stage, Dave Matthews Band probably would be around at some point too.
The Dave Matthews has actually probably done better than all three of those bands as far as having a career, writing new stuff, and staying more relevant. I would say so. Not that hey, all three of those bands are 90s, kings and queens, but DMB, I have an affinity for Dave Matthews Band.
Me too. The last time I saw Blues Traveler, John Popper still looked like he was going to pop. He looks quite a bit different.
Is he
now.
on his bone broth now? Is he getting it right? I like it.
Bone broth and nothing else.
Well, I mean that's okay if you want to, reset your body and do that for about 3 straight days. But after about 3 straight days, let's go ahead and get some sustenance in you.
Kind of made sense to me when I would watch him play that harmonica. It was like, look at everything else he's got behind his mouth. It's perfect for playing the harmonica, but I don't think you necessarily need all the weight to play the harmonica. But if he wasn't so slim right now, would he be alive?
Maybe
I don't
we
know
can
if
get
he
the
would.
wallflowers to go in there too. That's talk about 90s nostalgia right there.
Just make sure we get ourselves some cargo shorts. I got to have the flannel shirt with a
Birkenstocks.
T-shirt underneath it.
Yeah, or Doc Martens. Yeah,
that's right. Have my Crystal Pepsi in one hand. Maybe have when they originally brought on, it would have
clove
been.
cigarette?
Ooh, gross! I still can't do those
Crystal
things.
Pepsi and a.
Well, it would be the first thing that Taco Bell ever did that wasn't a taco.
Oh, the
when
Mexican pizza.
Well, no, they've had the Mexican pizza for years, but it's like when they put the hard taco shell inside of a soft taco shell and put the bean dip on it and thought they invented something. Whatever that thing was called, I'll eat that in my right hand, the Crystal Pepsi, in the left hand, I love the open flannel shirt with the it'll have to be a Blues Traveler T-shirt, concert T-shirt in the middle there. My Birkenstocks,
Cargo,
this is
cargo
great.
polos,
and I'll still go to high school on time. Let's bring on Hall of Famer Clay Henry. You can read him, of course, at Whole Hog Sports. Clay, that was 90s for us. What was 90s for you?
It's the same thing that the 2025
George
Strait.
Yeah.
He was at his peak.
He was
he was cranking out number one.
He had the movie. What was his name in
Heartland?
Yeah, it was he Charlie Prince? What I forget what his name was.
Yeah,
So are you trying to tell me, Clay, you weren't drinking a Crystal Pepsi in 1997? Of course you were.
I don't think that I was probably drinking much of anything. I was probably drinking unsweet iced tea. I mean, I had babies. It's like there's nothing that changes your perspective like a 5 or a 6 year old. It's like, man, I'd better behave. Just like
It does work.
You're sitting. It's like we talk about role models and all that. Like in sports, but I mean that's the ultimate role model when you're raising little girls. But yeah, I was probably drinking unsweet tea and Oreo Blast. I mean, I think Oreo Blast had come in. That was my and then I would go to Brahms and get a Black Forest Sundae. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, but
back
those
in
were
the day.
99 cents back then, man.
But I mean, I'm just telling you that's what you said. What was I doing in the 90s? That's what I was doing.
Yeah, I was I was doing CALL 1-800-CALL-ATT about 5 times a week.
Yeah,
and we all did the Carrot Top commercial back then too. That's right. And of course it was Zima. First time you ever
with a Jolly Rancher.
Ugh, it's like we're drinking Sprite.
It's like you're
but it
drinking
doesn't-
high school.
That's exactly right. Do they even step? I'm sure they
tastes
still
like
make.
high school. It's like, what would
sure
high
they
school
still make
taste
Zima?
like? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it tastes like
that's-
Zima and Jolt mixed together.
Yep,
Nasty.
hauling daughters to practices and stuff. Soccer, volleyball, basketball. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, your life was a
remember
little
the
bit
90s.
different. Your life was different than our lives in the 90s. In the 90s, it was basically like, how late can I stay up tonight?
No, you're exhausted. You just like, man, it's dark. It's time to shut it down. But I will say that was my era of really the late 80s more than the 90s, but maybe the early 90s. Everybody go to bed early in our house, and I would watch the Braves on the West Coast. With
TBS. Yeah.
because nobody really wanted to watch baseball with me. And after everybody shut down about 9:15,
And that was a good time to watch Braves baseball.
Yeah,
too,
and I mean it was. I could go back and tell you the guys, but
Oh, so we're talking
that
late
was-
80s, right? Were they still
Yeah.
wearing the powder blues?
yeah, they were. And then that was
Bruce
also
Benedict, Ken
Oh, yeah.
Oberkfell.
Terry Pendleton before he was a Cardinal.
No, Pendleton was
Braves.
a Brave after a Cardinal.
Ah, he
Yeah,
was after him.
what Dale Murphy and Bob Horner, that was earlier, I think. Maddox,
O.D.B. McDowell. One of my
not sure
favorite
about
names
Crime
of all
Dog,
time.
Fred McGriff.
Fred McGriff, I got into fantasy baseball in a little pool at the office.
course, it wasn't called fantasy then; it was called rotisserie baseball.
I don't really remember, but same thing. And there were about 6 of us, and the high school football writer Mike Brown was our commissioner, and somehow I ended up with Will Clark and Fred McGriff. And I can remember every morning at breakfast, my youngest daughter is like, "Dad, did the crime dog get a dinger last night?" From a 7 or 8 year old, that's, it's like, but that was her way of carrying on the conversation with her dad. Because
Hey, if we're talking 90s and Fred McGriff, then we're also talking Tommy Mansky defensive drills videos. You know the one I'm talking about. It had the famous thing, because Fred McGriff wore a hat unlike anybody ever wore a hat. He was 6'4", 6'7" with the hat. He wore it as high as he could.
Poofy. He had it poofy. Yeah.
Yeah, and nobody thought about Fred McGriff for his defensive skills. He was the crime dog because he hit 40 home runs a year. Yet he's on there for the Tommy Mansky defensive drills video. He must have been a halfway decent first baseman. It was all 90s stuff.
Was David Justice on those Braves teams? Yeah, I know
David Justice
Chipper
would have been
Jones.
He'd have been on the good Braves teams. The teams that Clay's talking about were the Braves teams that basically people watched because it was the only baseball game on television at that point.
And
they weren't very good.
And now they were on WGN too. The Cubs were, but that's
WGN,
day game.
yeah.
That's day games.
That's the Braves when they made one of the greatest trades ever, sending Doyle Alexander to the Tigers for John Smoltz.
I was going to say they got Greg Maddux from the Cubs. Yeah.
Alexander goes 7-0 for the Tigers, helps them win a 1987 pennant, and then never did anything again. And then John Smoltz goes into the Hall of Fame.
See, but the Braves were in the NL West, and so they have that West Coast swing where, like it'd be 18 nights in a row after 9:30, 9:15, everybody's in bed, and I'd find me gosh, Tulsa, it was 108, 112, and it's like that's the first time the house we probably needed a new air conditioner. First time the house would cool off would be about 10 o'clock.
I think we got your old air conditioner at this studio.
Yeah, and then there's the house. There's the house I grew up in Pittsburgh. We did not have air conditioning. My parents did not get air conditioning until 20 years ago, and by that point, I was out of the house 15 years. You don't need air conditioning in Pittsburgh too often.
I didn't know that. I would think that you would need air conditioning in Pittsburgh, but that's a different stratosphere.
Well, our air conditioning was you open the freezer door and you stand in front of it for 10 minutes.
You held the front door open too long. It's like, what am I trying to air condition the whole neighborhood?
We got air conditioner on 1821 Fair Park when I was 16. And until then, we had an attic fan. And you tried to be good so that you could, the boys' bedrooms, me and my 3 brothers were all upstairs. My mother and dad had a downstairs bedroom, and that's where the living room and the hardwood floor was. And if you were good, you could watch TV up till about 10:30. But if you weren't, they'd send you to bed at 9. And I mean, you roasted, you just sweat in bed.
Yeah, the best place to cool off was the basement in a house like that because we
didn't have
a basement.
No
we
basement.
don't have basements here, but in Pennsylvania, there's basements everywhere, and that room's always cool.
You get down there on that slab, right? Yeah.
It's got the TV and all of the videos that you're not supposed to watch at the age of 12 or 13. You know what I mean? 877-377-6963 is
back.
Lewis Automotive. Well, that's the whole plan.
It's Nostalgia Day. It's Nostalgia Radio.
Tuesdays are made for nostalgia now during Rushmore season, and also talking to the tuna. Charlie on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. What were you doing in the 90s? Or do I want to know?
I was actually going to bring that up. Me and Steve Unit were probably doing very similar things. He's a few years younger than me, a couple years younger than me. Probably
you guys were
running around
drooling and having your
diapers.
mom wipe your butt? Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Were you like a 07, 08 high school tuna?
2011, man.
2011.
2011.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. No, yeah, man. We was running around, doing some things we probably shouldn't have been doing. But I will say this, Phil. So I'm guessing the extreme high ever in Pittsburgh. Maybe it's probably like 95 because it's probably never gotten any hotter there than that. I know it's probably been 100 before, but my point to that is so I know you guys will probably remember this, Clay, Matt. Once the summertime kind of rolled around this time, you would go jump in the pool, and it would be really cold around this time. But once it got to July, August, whatever, man, that darn pool would be warm when you jump in.
Bath water.
So Phil,
It's bath water.
Yeah. So Phil, for you, did you guys just have in-house pools, or and pools in the house, or did you guys actually run outside and jump in once it hit June or July? How did it go up there in Pittsburgh?
Well, the house wasn't, but the backyard wasn't large enough for a pool that would fit any more than maybe a cat. So we could not have had a pool. We could have put cold water into the bathtub and called that a pool, or we could have gone to the family park about 10 miles away, and that pool is always cold. I don't know what they do in that place. Like they have, I think it's just a melted ice rink that they turn into a pool and keep it there for an entire year. It's the coldest water I've ever been in my life, outside of the polar plunge that I did in Beaver Lake because I lost a bet to Ty about 7 years ago. But we didn't do that kind of, I mean, it just wasn't a thing. In Pittsburgh, if it's 95 degrees, that means the sun is right on the earth. It doesn't happen there.
There's zero clouds. There's no cloud in the sky. I mean, yeah, it doesn't happen. You don't even see one. But I wonder too, like I was thinking you guys were talking about Gafford, Matt, and the contract he just signed. I was thinking about too, like I think a lot of kids, what they struggle with early in their career, and I'm not saying Gafford did. One thing I know about him, I know his family a little bit. I know his brother because they're from down here in El Dorado. So the one thing I know about him is he went into the NBA with the mindset, which I think more kids should go in there with. Everybody can't be LeBron James. Everybody can't be Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or the all-star on their team. I think the thing that he's done is he has not saying perfected, but he's a star in his role. And I think the same thing with Isaiah Joe, right? He's a great three-point shooter, solid defender, takes charges. Jalen Williams, they're stars in their roles. That's why they will last in the NBA. Everybody cannot be, because when you first go to the NBA, like you're the best player coming out of high school or college. I think it's hard for some kids to accept the fact that, you know what, I can't be what I used to be no more, and I got to find something. You always talk about superpowers, Matt. Some guys just have that, but I think for like Bobby Portis, like he had to really kind of revamp his shot. I know he worked with that Chris Matthews guy or whatever his name is to kind of work on his shot, change it up a little bit. But he had to find something to get better at and to keep himself in the NBA. And I wonder if some kids like that sometimes. They think they could just come in the NBA and it just be my way. And you got to find something, and you got to star in your role. Everybody can't be Kobe. Everybody can't be LeBron. And, Matt, who else do you like in this draft besides Cooper Flagg? Phil, you too, Clay, as well.
I like the other. Yeah, thanks, Tuna. I like the other kid from Duke as well. I kind of like
Knuppel.
Yeah, he's so dude. That's Serge Ibaka. I like Asa Newell, the kid from Georgia, absolute beast. I think Asa Newell should be a top 3 pick. And he's Chris Bosh just remade like that. Dude is an all-star. But the other kid from Duke as well. And then I'm coming around, Phil. I know he's little bitty, but the kid, the shooting guard is it Trey Richardson from Texas? The
Trey Johnson.
I'm kind of like, it's hard for me to like a kid that's 6 foot going to the NBA.
Oh, he's not 6 foot.
How tall?
I think he's 6'4".
Okay,
I like him more. 6'4" in a mock draft.
I like him more now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's 6'4". He can get his shot off. I like
gotta have
the
something
Florida
you do that's
guard
amazing.
too. I like
Walter
the Florida
Clayton the fourth.
Yeah, yeah, I like him too. And maybe he just had a phenomenal NCAA tournament, but I thought he was. Man, Florida had some great comebacks all year, and he was in the middle of almost every one of them. But back to Gafford and Jalen Williams and Isaiah Joe, they got the one commonality that I like is character, and they're going to fit where they go. And Ronnie Brewer, the same way. When he came out, we all thought of him as a scorer, and he went to the Utah Jazz with Jerry Sloan, and he says, "Man, you're gonna guard the best 3 in the land every night out." And he embraced that role, and that's what I think that's what Tuna was talking about is embracing your role, not trying to make it too big. And then you got to get lucky a little bit. And I think, the 2 Fort Smith Northside guys to be with the Thunder and that coach and that GM to understand, what a complete team is. And then they're with a star that embraces team. Really 2 stars, I guess. and the other Jalen Williams. And,
Well, their big three, Chet,
SGA.
Jalen, and SGA, are all under 26 years old, which is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and they're not worried about what they're going to get. They know they're going to get it. I'm talking about money, and they understand that they're also in a market where there's going to be a lot of cool things happen. I mean, just think about Oklahoma City right now. I was in Oklahoma for a long time, and the only word you ever heard was Sooners. That's gone away. The Sooners they're struggling for any kind of identity in that state. It's the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it's the same thing that happened at TCU and SMU with the arrival of pro sports there. And that's happening in Oklahoma because I've got friends over there, and they used to they wore Sooner stuff to church. They don't even have Sooner stuff anymore. Wow. It's OKC Thunder, and I'm not making this up. It's a different deal. Now, part of it is the Sooners have brought it on themselves. They're not any good at football.
That happened before the move to the SEC. It was right after Riley left that things just got very mediocre.
Over the last 30 years, they've had 2 or 3 dips. They had the Howard Snellberger, John Blake dip, and then Stoops brought them back. But it's not been the Sooners of old, and they're not sure where they fit in the SEC. And revenue sharing, and they have made an unbelievable amount of cuts in the OU program as far as finances because of revenue sharing, and it's not as popular in that state overall to be a Sooner fan, and we'll see. They can come back.
I also saw they made one of the more interesting hires in terms of general managers with Jim Nagy, who used to run the Senior Bowl. It's a guy that's obviously in the scouting community and everything, and he's running the general manager's office for, I think it's just OU football, and they're doing things differently than with Arkansas. We got a GM that's over everything and an assistant for each sport. 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive hotline. Have you taken advantage of the discount at Roback.com yet? If you make your first purchase at Roback.com and enter the code RUSH25 at checkout, you get 20% off your first order. This can save you a good chunk off some of the most amazing gear at Roback.com. Fresh polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in their American Summer collection. And for golfers out there, don't forget about Roback's Delta pants and shorts. They're comfortable right on the golf course or off the golf course. It's RHOBACK.com, Roback.com. 20% off your first order by using the code RUSH25 at checkout. And stay with Halftime. We're back in just a moment.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Hey guys, this is Ethan at Wheeler Power Sports, and we want you to stop in and see Drew at our apparel department. On-road or off-road, we've got you covered. Helmets, jackets,
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Choose your escape. Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Take a luxurious dip with the $5 Classic box. Indulge in a lavish meal with the $7 Supreme box. Or explore new worlds with the $9 Discovery box, now featuring the crispy chicken burrito for a truly unmissable experience.
What's that, Tony Hawk?
Get Lux for less, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and it's just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
East Coast summers living on the run. Now the beachfront nights, fireflies and thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine. Now the sea.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier. They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course. So shop at Roback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your sports betting action. And with baseball in full swing and football season right around the corner, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting. From MLB, UFC to tennis and NFL futures, BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Head to the website today and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. Bet online. The game starts here.
Fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line now. It's Fueled by Taco Bell.
Once upon a midnight, hearing a walk with something in my head. Couldn't escape the memory of the phone call and what you said. Like a game show, just a little parting gift. I could not believe my eyes when I saw through the parts of a trusted friend. Did you humor me and tell me lies? Yeah, humor me and tell me lies.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, that song probably was way overplayed circa 94, 95, into 96. And here it is, all these years later, about 30 years, and you can still remember about 4 out of every 5 lyrics of that song I still get right. It's one of those songs that was overplayed so much, Matt, you just never, ever forget it.
Man, you start looking at kind of their catalog. They got a lot of stuff, but you're right. That was what it'd be like Sublime and Santeria. You know, it's like that would be that
Blind one. Melon and No Rain.
Yeah, it's like they have other things as well.
It was like Werewolves of London,
and Counting Blue Cars. It's like they got about 7 other good songs.
Remember Warren's? It was a hilarious little skit on. Well, it wasn't a skit. It was on the Larry Sanders Show. Warren Zevon is one of Sanders' guests, and he practically begs Larry Sanders not to ask him to play Werewolves of London because that's the only song anybody remembered. The other one that Zevon did, which was great, is Lawyers, Guns, and Money, which was not as popular but maybe better. But of course, on the show, and Larry Sanders is playing a Johnny Carson-like character, of course he asked him to play. What do you think? Werewolves of London on the show. And the look on his face was he was just sick of it. But when you got a song that everybody loves and everybody knows the lyrics to, you just have to expect they're going to ask you to play.
Went and saw. I was in Memphis, I believe. It's either Memphis or Nashville, and you're kind of looking for something to do. This is when I was 25 years old or so, and Sixpence None the Richer was singing, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll go check in." They had the song
That's
"Kiss
Me."
So we're talking about one hit, one time. So the very first thing she does when she gets up there, she goes, "I don't want any of y'all yelling for Kiss Me. We're going to play all songs off our new album, but I will play it for you first right now, and then shut up." And I just thought, you know what? Don't be so hateful about it.
I mean, they don't get it. They don't get it.
Yep, right.
I mean, it's like George Strait saying, "I don't want to play Amarillo." I mean, it's like he's gonna play it every.
That's right.
And he tells about how much I love it. What it made me. I talked to Joe Nichols one time about, when he does little things, little gigs, and not the big concerts, but it's like, is there something that you don't want to play? And he goes, "Clay," he says, "Tequila Makes Your Clothes Fall Off is a little bit old to me, but I know I'm going to play it because that's what everybody wants." And he says, give it to him. Give it to him. It might not be my favorite song, but you give it to him because, I mean, it made him. And now Joe's got
he's an Arkansas kid, right?
He's Rogers. Yeah, he's a couple of years older than my daughters, and they knew him. And he just did a concert in Mountain Home. An outdoor concert, and they packed them into kind of a little amphitheater type deal. But yeah, it's for the mega stars. Just imagine that Frank Sinatra would say, "Well, I'm not going to sing New York, New York." He's going to sing it. He's going to sing.
Or let's see, it would be Pearl Jam not playing Jeremy at a concert.
There you go. There you go.
It would be.
Chicago 26 or
25 or 6-4.
Yeah, they're gonna play it. They're gonna play
Springsteen without Born in the USA, right?
Thing.
Weird Al without Eat
They're
It.
gonna rock it out. So
Barry Manilow without American Bandstand.
If somebody's got a number one or a hit, for them to say that they're tired of it or whatever, it's like that. That's just being rude.
Or Morgan Wallen just showing up to the concert.
Oh yeah, we had that. Luke Bryan.
Well, sometimes he doesn't, Matt. Sometimes he
yeah.
doesn't, and maybe you can think people when he doesn't show up, people are actually a little bit ticked about it. Spent all that money for the show at Ole Miss, and he wasn't even there.
I'd be. Yeah. Well, of course, I'm not a Morgan Wallen guy. It's like, well, I got the night off. Thank God.
Not yet. You're not. Give it another 20 years when his country is classic country, and then you can get into it a little more.
Yeah. Yeah, but
it's like
I got a little
bit
bit
when
of
Genesis became classic rock. I realized I was old.
They had a John Prine tribute down at the Ozark Folk Center, which is 40 minutes from here, last weekend, and I knew tons and tons of people went, and I had to admit I had to go listen to some John Prine song to remember who he was, and I mean he's a legend, but he had a little a certain little gift, and I just wasn't aware of it. The John Prine lovers don't hate on me. I wasn't exposed to John Prine.
Yeah, we don't all get to hear everything that everybody says is great. Tom Waits, Matt, I don't even know what his greatest hit is, but if you didn't play it at his show, he'd probably tell you where to stick your money.
Yeah, he's a nepo baby, though. I think there's a little different when you and some of these artists are. But I'm into The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. If you've seen that movie, Tom Waits is in that movie. The Book of Eli, Tom Waits is a pretty. Who's the better actor?
No idea
Tom
he's
Waits
a nepo baby.
Or Flea. Flea did Back to the Future. Flea was in.
I never believed anybody was more of a nihilist than Flea.
Sounds exhausting.
In Big Lebowski. I mean, he absolutely delivered the nihilistic attitude like nobody ever did.
We believe in nothing, Lebowski.
Did he even have a line in the movie? Yeah, he was in Back to the Future 2. He was in the second one. That's right. He's a great all-time actor. And then, of course, he's got his own very special costume on stage, which involves a sock and nothing else. Let's take a quick break on halftime. We'll be back in a moment.
When Matt Jones and Houston Nutt teams were playing back in the day, if those guys had 4 wins on their record at the end of the season, they still got in there and they beat the tar out of everybody.
This is halftime.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
This is halftime.
All right, let's break someone's clavicle on 3. 1, 2, 3. Break someone's clavicle. Hit the field. Let's go. Move it. Move it.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Make hay while the sun shines with Kubota hay equipment from Gray Brothers. Like quality-built Kubota disc hay mowers, known for their durability and beautiful cut. Kubota hay rakes and, of course, the BB Series Kubota round baler, coupled it with Kubota's M-Series cab tractor. With 75 to 168 horsepower, and you'll have the prettiest hay on the market. With savings from Gray Brothers and special financing from Kubota. Today is your day for a new Kubota at Gray Brothers Equipment at Fort Smith and Photo, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Hey everyone, Braden Webb here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. You may remember me from my days playing baseball for the Hogs. Now I'm hitting home runs for AAA Business Systems and enhancing the ways companies do business in our area. If you want to partner with the best office technology provider in Northwest Arkansas, call me today at 479-442-4185. Let's win together, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
I want to ride my bicycle.
Looking for a new ride or need a tune-up? Champion Cycling in Fort Smith has you covered. From top-of-the-line bikes like Specialized and Surly to expert repairs, apparel, and accessories, we've got everything you need to hit the trails. Stop by 5500 Mazard Road during business hours or shop anytime online at championcycling.com. Champion Cycling, helping you share in the joy of cycling.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Did you see the sky thinking that we've been lost? Maybe one last time is all we need. My tongue's all tied in knots. Jumping off a bridge, it's just the farthest that I'll follow you down. Every grace those I know by heart.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I know we're playing the Gin Blossoms here, but Jamie asks, is John Popper still skinny? And I just did a quick search here, and John Popper used to be more than 400 pounds heavy, and then in 2000 he had gastric bypass surgery, which resulted in him losing 200 pounds, and he's kept off the weight since. That comes from 10 years ago, so maybe I'm guessing in the last 10 years, because with the gastric bypass, you literally can't eat all that much, so I'm sure he's
Kylian
kept it down.
Mbappe, who's France's best player, just got hospitalized for some gastric issues, which he's fine, but, too many protein bars, I guess.
Yikes. Wanted to get into Norm DeBryan in the Hall of Fame, the College Baseball Hall of Fame. We've got Hall of Famer Clay Henry with us, so we got Halls of Fame going on here. And maybe to answer my own question, what took so long for Norm DeBryan to be inducted? Well, the College Baseball Hall of Fame has only been around since 2006, so you're going on, this would be the 20th class. It's a sport that stretches a long way back. I don't know when the College Football Hall of Fame was created, but I think it's a lot older than the College Baseball Hall of Fame. College basketball, I think, has a little bit more history with their Hall of Fame in Kansas City than baseball does, which, by the way, I think is in the same place in Kansas City, though I don't think there's an actual physical Hall of Fame you can go visit yet. I think the deal used to be in Lubbock, and they moved it to Kansas City. But, for all of us here in Arkansas, we would think, well, why wouldn't you have Norm DeBryan inducted? I mean, he's got the most wins ever in Arkansas. He's our legend. He's our godfather of baseball. But I think when you look at the idea that they probably don't have more than 10 people inducted on an annual basis, maybe 12, and for a sport that stretches so far back into history, and they're only going to put in how many coaches a year? ChatGPT tells me that as of this year, there are 53 head coaches in the National College Baseball Hall of Fame. Not all of them are Division I. Some of them are NAIA, junior college, Division II, Division III. This is for all of college baseball. So when I look at the history and the short amount of time that this Hall of Fame has been around, yes, I think for all of us, it makes sense to ask the question, what took so long? But I also think there are reasons why it took so long, that there were other coaches that just had more momentum and more people voting for them, and maybe a few more wins.
They might have some national championships.
And then there's that.
Yeah.
Well, look at the first coaches that were inducted. Skip Bertman, Rod Dado, Cliff Gustafson. I mean, there are no three coaches that have more national titles than those three. Bertman at LSU, Dado at USC, Gustafson at Texas.
Just think of it in this terms, too. He's the second University of Arkansas baseball inductee. Jeff King was the first last year. And if you're going to say, well, who should be first, Jeff King, who was the number one overall draft pick, or Norm DeBryan, I'd probably say Jeff King. But then I'd say, after that, you'd probably, maybe Kevin McReynolds. That might be one that would be after that. How about Johnny Ray? So there's some more going to be there, I think. But again, you're talking about how many total are in this hall. You've got tons and tons of candidates that are worthy from some of these teams. And from what I can tell, there's a lot of West Coast. And you think, well, the SEC is the dominant program, the dominant conference. Well, not just from 1990 forward it is. Before that, it was all West Coast, wasn't it, Phil?
Yeah. Or Southwest, just, Texas, Arizona State.
Arizona State. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, Southwest.
That part, or just flat out California.
Warm weather.
That's about it.
Yeah.
But we got into this yesterday about college baseball being a regional sport, and it always has been. It's just, I don't think that they had big crowds back in the day at USC baseball games or Pepperdine or anything. It was just small ballparks. But the talent, and they still have good teams out there, just not as good as they used to be, and a lot of the talent has shifted here to the Southeast, where they're playing in front of giant crowds. Like, I don't ever see this changing in college baseball. If it's going to remain a regional sport, it's going to be because you haven't moved the season back a month and let the northern teams actually have a little bit more time to play home games. But this is never going to change. You get the biggest stadiums in the sport. You get the most attention of any league on that sport. You're going to always have kids from California, from Hawaii now, from that part of the country, and they play so much baseball there, but they're going to come play here in this part of the country. And it didn't used to be like that.
It's interesting in the dynamics again in that area. If you're going to if you want to go watch a baseball game, do you want to go watch the Southern Cal Trojans or the LA Dodgers?
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
The guy that kind of started it too, really, is Coach Polk, Ron Polk at Mississippi State. SEC baseball just wasn't a thought before Polk turned Mississippi State into a monster in the 80s. Of course, they didn't win the national title, but they were annually there in Omaha. And that had to have been, I remember we had Ben McDonald on a few years ago, and we were talking about how the SEC got to where it is in baseball because there had not been a national champion in the sport from the SEC until 1990. Just like Clay said, it's Georgia. And since then, look at all the national titles that have come through the SEC in baseball. And it had to have started with Polk. You know, that's where the huge
stop.
It's never going to stop. And, you know, I just don't even see another league ever getting close to the place where the SEC is in terms of the talent level and in terms of the popularity of the sport. We live inside of it, so it feels like a big deal here. You go to the West Coast, like, how do you think UCLA fans were paying attention to? And I remember thinking it's like 45th on the list in Los Angeles of what a sports fan might do is think about, not even go to a UCLA baseball game, but think about it. And here, at that point of the season, it's on the top of everybody's mind here, college baseball, not just in Arkansas, but in Mississippi, in Tennessee, in Alabama in some cases. Auburn's really turned into a big pro. Texas. But I don't think it'll ever get to the place where even women's basketball is right now, where it's a national sport coast to coast in terms of big crowds. It's always going to be regional, and I think so it gets to be kind of like our little sort of secret.
Yeah, it kind of blew me away in Omaha, and I guess I didn't have a clue. But Murray State, free admission, no concessions, no bathrooms. Can you imagine that?
Field holds 700 people.
I didn't realize they don't have
football
bathrooms.
team? Is it Coastal Carolina? Who's the football team that's
It's
giving
Coastal.
away free concessions this year?
They probably have bathrooms, though, in the stadium, is my guess.
Yeah.
I had no idea that Murray State's ballpark does not have bathrooms.
Nope.
So
no
you know what the bathroom
no
is then?
concession.
Oh, the
Quick
bathroom
trip.
is just walking into the woods. Since you didn't have to pay to get in, you can
Easy,
just walk out. They
easy.
don't even stamp your hand.
Yeah, that's probably going to change now that they've gone to Omaha.
Well, they re-signed the coach. They re-signed Skirka, who was a finalist at Duke. And if you're going to re-sign that guy and give him
You
a
just
raise,
spend some money, yeah.
You're probably going to spend a little money to at least turn the baseball field into something that you can take a leak at without going into nature. Just my guess.
Well, I mean, you got the trough at War Memorial, first time ever. Think about being, if I was in 9th grade, 10th, but the first time when you're young and all of a sudden you go in there to take a leak and it's a trough and there's like 20 grown men sitting there, you're like, ugh.
Oh, but Clay knows where I'm going to go to here because when the Travelers finally moved out of Raywinder Field, you know what the number one thing that people wanted to buy from that stadium? They wanted the urinal trough. I can't even imagine what you would do with that. Are you going to put that in your house? It's not designed for single person usage. That's designed for 15 men all at once.
I think that goes
somebody
in your
bought
barn.
the thing. I mean, what do they do with that?
I think it goes in your barn. Yeah, I mean, it's like you're going to feed the cows with that or something.
No, it doesn't go in your barn. It goes in your bar for when your buddies come over and you say, "Hey guys,
You can
let's
throw
go do this activity over here."
It's a dual purpose. You can throw up into it as well.
And people did.
Oh yes, but it wasn't designed for that to go down the drain in that thing. That was always the thing.
Man, you're taking me back. You're taking me back to my. I mean, I started going there in the 50s, Raywinder Field. I mean, when I was
still been there.
4, 5, 6, before 1960, I'd been there and started getting jobs. I was Reno the ball man's guy.
The bathrooms were the thing that Bill Valentine was just the absolute most proudest of. It cracked me up how he would talk about the bathrooms at Ray Winder Field and how he turned them into stainless steel, and how he did the same thing at Dickey Stevens Park. If you go to the Razorback game at Dickey Stevens, you ever use the restroom, you'll notice it's all stainless steel. That's for a reason, because that man took pride in clean bathrooms. He took pride in some other things too, but top of the list was clean bathrooms. And hey, I appreciated that too. It's like, why would you ever stop at Buc-ee's? Well, they have the cleanest bathrooms on the highway. Why wouldn't you stop there? It's the same as going to Ray Winder Field, which isn't even around anymore. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Well, after that conversation, you're probably craving something sweet and delicious, something that tastes like dessert. Andy's has you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. Right now I'm thinking about the triple chocolate concrete. I love chocolate. Andy's chocolate frozen custard blended with chocolate chip cookie dough and melted chocolate chips. It's absolutely going to take you down, and you'll be happy with it at Andy's Frozen Custard. Also, remember the Pick 6. 6 of your favorite flavors. Mix and match them for the perfect treat for the family, especially during the summer. Andy's Frozen Custard all around our listening audience in Fort Smith, Conway, North Little Rock, Northwest Arkansas. Andy's Frozen Custard. Walk up or drive through. They're ready to serve. Back to wrap up the second hour of halftime in just a moment.
Matt Jones, sir, a player that I refer to that provided Hog Delight. You're a great ambassador for our program.
This is halftime.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanar.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Adventure doesn't wait, and neither should you. Start your next journey at Arkansas's #1 fifth wheel dealer, Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. No matter the size of your family or your budget, Wheels RV has a new travel trailer or fifth wheel to help you explore the great outdoors. And with our exclusive lifetime warranty on every new RV, you can hit the open road with peace of mind. Come see us on 412 in Tawnytown or check us out at wheelsrv.net. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Can you explain the infield fly rule? Neither can I, but I can help you navigate a variety of legal issues, from divorce to personal injury to estate planning. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions, a new law firm offering affordable flat fees with payment plans available. You get an ace at the price of a minor leaguer. Now that sounds like a grand slam to me. Call Mock Legal Solutions for your free consultation. 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Keep your haymaking season rolling with big savings on New Holland hay tools at WT Equipment. Right now, choose 0% financing or cash back on select disc bind, disc mower conditioners, and roll belt rounders, and save thousands. You'll cut with more confidence, bale faster and tighter, and save for seasons to come. Ask about our industry-leading warranties, too. Hurry into WT Equipment for these ready-to-roll savings. Offer ends June 30th. Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply.
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
Hey, Ty Richardson at my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue. And Cricket, we always talk about specials. Wednesday, ladies' night. I know you love Wednesdays here.
I love my Wednesdays. All the ladies come out. We have $5.99 small cheesy bread. We have pink panty droppers on special. We've got blow bombs on special. And it's all about ladies on a Wednesday here at Papa.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Cricket, what do you think about Papa's Pub and Pizzeria?
I think it's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith and perhaps the world.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Short of the train at sunlight, we're gonna have to run Short of the train at sunlight, gonna have to run Tell me with my cat, you know the girl with me Whisper Carolina, go down. You know the girl now.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Almost Razorback Andre Iguodala was drafted today, 2004. We got the anniversaries, the 98 and 2004 NBA drafts today.
Your boy Lionel Messi, it's his birthday today.
Really? How old is the Messi one?
I think he's a Roy Williams, and I mean the football player that was the safety from Oklahoma that played at Dallas. I think he was 38.
You're gonna You can have a drink of some Moss Plus. I guess he's got his own height. I think today's National Hydration Day. Why don't you throw back an ice cold Moss Plus? And
I think I've had 7
hydrate
water
yourself
so
on
far
Messi's
today.
birthday.
So yeah, I'm a John Elway in.
All right, well, good. Maybe you don't need the Moss Plus. Happy birthday to Messi. Who else was drafted in 2000? So 98, first pick, Michael Olowokandi. Clippers.
From Pacific, yep.
The University of the Pacific in Stockton. That's right. I lived there 2 years after he was drafted. Also going in that draft, Vinsanity, 5th overall, to Golden State. I even forgotten he ever played for Golden State, if he did. I just remember him at the Raptors more than anything.
I think he was
Paul
traded
Pierce
right away.
Paul Pierce went 10th overall for the
Truth.
Celtics.
One
That's
of
right.
the best nicknames right there. One of the first players, Phil, I remember watching saying this is how guys play at that level, get into a spot. Like he would get to that free throw line extended, and it was 2 points.
The crazy, so looking at this draft, Dirk Nowitzki went 9th overall. He was one of 2, 3, 4,
Steve
5.
Nash in that draft? No.
I don't see Steve Nash there. No, but he was Nowitzki's one of 5 international players that was drafted in the first round that year. Heck, I mean, you had 3 international players, all French players, drafted in the first round last year. I mean, things have changed quite a bit.
Best second-round pick ever. Some could say it's Jalen Brunson, but I'm going to say it's Manu Ginobili. He was a second-round draft pick. He's a Hall of Famer.
Emeka Okafor was the 2nd overall pick in 2004. And in 98, Mike Bibby went to Vancouver. He had a halfway decent career there. He was pretty good. Olowokandi lasted 9 years, and he had a lot of trouble staying healthy. It's one of those first overall picks. It did not quite work out. Dwight Howard in 2004, first overall pick. Seemed to work fairly well.
He seemed to work out.
We move into hour number 3 of halftime with Hall of Fame sports writer Clay Henry. So you can call or text at 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio about 20 minutes from right now, and we are back right after the top of the hour break.
Whether you're opening your first checking account, purchasing your first home, saving for your first big vacation, or opening a new business, First Star Bank offers hometown service with the latest in digital banking technology. Our local team makes banking fast, convenient, and easy. From simple everyday banking to helping you fulfill your dreams, our team is here to guide you every step of the way. First Star Bank. We'll be there through all your firsts. Learn more at firststar.bank or stop by one of our local branches today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Bred for the mud. Kawasaki Teryx KRX 1000 and Teryx KRX 41000 lifted edition side-by-sides come factory equipped to dominate wet and muddy conditions with ITP crypted mud tires, elevated dual snorkel air intakes, and Fox 2.5 LSC piggyback shocks. This edition is purpose-built for more mud-slinging good times. Now, weather doesn't stop the adventure. It inspires it.
Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make Awake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make Awake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith. 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, a chance of a few isolated showers or storms. Our high temperatures today will be into the lower 90s. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, and overnight low will drop down into the low 70s. Wednesday, ample sunshine, a high into the lower 90s, and another sunny one on Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 67 days.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Well, these things dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they were one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. Halftime continues 1 minute after 1 o'clock in the afternoon on ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com. I'm Phil Elson. Matt Jones sitting across from Kristen Johnston in studios, and Hall of Famer Clay Henry with us from right by the Norfolk River. 95 degrees outside the home studio here, Clay. I don't know what it is in Fort Smith, guys. What's it like where you are?
It's same. It's nasty. I went to the golf course this morning, having a little trouble with plantar fasciitis in my right heel. It goes back to wearing deck shoes for 5 days in Utah. You know, they're flats. You know, like, and they got deck grips. You know, in the boat. Well, I always wore Hokas or Echoes, you know, which have great arches. You know, and that keeps I don't know what it does, but it keeps the plantar fasciitis away. So I went up to see if I could hit golf balls in my Hokas, which I can. I did just fine. But I take the Hokas off, man. You talk about pain. And I know
no kidding.
Everybody out there that's had it is, you know, it's misery. And
that was something that Albert Pujols dealt with near the end of his career. It was always a nagging. I think he had a knee problem too, but the fasciitis was a big issue for him. You ever have that before, Matt?
Yeah, Birkenstocks are really good.
They are.
Crocs,
Great arch sport.
Tevas. I've looked in the two that you just said, Clay. Yeah, those. If you don't have your feet, man, it's tough to get around.
But I didn't want to put I've got some premium FootJoys that are really good, but they don't have the heel support like these Hokas. And I was like, well, you know, these are the new 9s. I got them in Omaha, went out to Shields because I was already having that problem, you know, after going to Utah. By the way, I'm going back to Utah in September. Lewis Campbell is like, you got to take me. So we just like, well, you know, we're both in our 70s. By the way, I'll be 71 Thursday. And
happy birthday, Clay.
He's 75.
That's a Jason Peters.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer.
Well, so we just like decided that why wait till next year? We don't know what next year is going to bring as far as our health. And it's like, so we just went ahead and booked it. We got a VRBO house in Dutch John, Utah, and they're going back. And I mean, that's I guess it's happy birthday to me.
I'm in one of those places where I want to plan a trip, but I can't do it until next summer. By this time next year, after Arkansas raises the trophy for their first ever College World Series championship, I'm going for 2 weeks to Japan. That's the plan. Now, I can't do it now, but I can do it next year. But I hope I'm around for next year because you know how we're going at this, Matt. Well, we got another 12 months. The last month we'll be in Japan.
We're definitely in a race, and I don't know who's running faster, but the 2026 World Cup, we're going to get to see Brazil play. We're going to get to see Argentina play, France play, Belgium play.
So you're telling me I got to make my trip to Japan outside?
We're going to load up and
we got to go to a game. We're
going to load up and go.
Yeah, we got to go to something.
Yeah,
halftime live at the World Cup.
We're going to paint our faces. We're going to do it all, Matt.
I love it.
We'll be the only ones that are covering it. From the state of Arkansas,
stand up
too.
and they chant the whole time. And if you have on their colors, you're part of the family.
You're part
for
of
that
it,
90
man.
minutes. Yep.
They're going to hang beads on you. They're going to, and their team scores go. An old woman's going to kiss you. It's just going to happen.
And if England scores a goal, they throw their pints.
It will
up in the
happen.
air.
It will happen. Yeah, they will. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I got derailed on that. Yeah.
No, that's okay. I just saw this come through. I hate this. I don't know if you've ever met him before, Clay. Dave Nitz was a longtime Louisiana Tech radio broadcaster. Did men's basketball.
I know who
baseball,
you're
did
talking
football.
about. Yeah.
He passed away this morning, age 82. I remember last time I saw Dave, he'd come, I think it was 2 baseball seasons ago. La Tech visited Fayetteville for, I think it was a midweek 2-game series. And Dave wasn't in the best shape. His son was there with him, helping do the broadcast and helping him around the ballpark. But he was still there, and he still loved the Texters, or, well, I guess the Bulldogs and the Lady Texters. But the guy who was our network manager for the Razorback Sports Network for the last, I think, 3 years, Kyle Schassberger, you've heard him fill in for me on some baseball broadcasts. He's taken over as the new voice of Louisiana Tech Athletics. But that's a tough legend to live up to, because Dave Nitz was the voice of Louisiana Tech sports for 50 years, from 74 through 2024, and that's just it's a big legacy to live up to.
That's their Paul Eels. Yeah.
Yep. He was Paul Eels and Chuck and Mike Nail all rolled together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a neat community. You probably don't know this, but my older brother Butch was actually athletic director there for a short time. It didn't work out. He went with Larry Bechtel. You know, when Bechtel left Lou Holtz's staff, and he told me that's a unique community, a cool town. Ruston. Yeah.
I know there's a good Italian restaurant there. They've got a fun ballpark. We visited there in 2021. The Love Shack, they call it. That's a fun ballpark.
In the apartments in left field.
Yeah, they got the student dorm in left field, and then right field. it's one of the funny and stupid all at the same time. I forget the name of the railway that's just past right field, but it's train tracks and it's a home run away, and it's not part of the seating area. So, I mean, there were people that were climbing on top of the berm that holds the railway to sit there and watch the game. Where if the train was coming by, they'd have to get out of the way.
Yeah, it's probably Southern Pacific, I'm going to guess.
But it's also, you don't ever think to yourself, you know what, we got to pay attention to the oncoming train while we're watching this baseball game.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's like didn't somebody hit one into the dorm? Didn't one of our players just hit a home
Battles
run?
Did. I think Jalen Battles did.
Hit it right into a window. Didn't break the window, threw into the window. So you don't get that one back.
What a cool place to be able to watch a baseball game too from right there. Ruston's actually a pretty nice place. And then, we think of Louisiana, there's LSU, and Louisiana Tech is big in that part of the state. So anyway, Dave was a great guy. Also did Shreveport captains games for a few years. So there's a guy that really was. I mean, think of that. He did all the Louisiana Tech games, and then did AA baseball in Shreveport when the baseball season was finished, the college season was over. That's just that's dedication to your craft all the way. Let's see, looking at the texts here. We went into the trough earlier. Jamie says, ice and beers in the trough. Brandon talked about the reason that Norm DeBryan hadn't been elected into the College Baseball Hall of Fame, and he points to the lack of a national title, and I think that's probably the case. Well, winning one national title just carries so much weight, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty much what we said, is that the others have national titles. I mean, so that's like, obviously he doesn't. And so we did go there. But yeah, and Dave's a Hall of Fame. Dave Van Horn's a Hall of Famer too. And it speed up the process if he can get one of those banners. And it's coming. It's coming.
The other players, the other people inducted into the Hall with Coach DeBryan, Gene Amann, who was a pitcher at Florida State in the 60s, Chris Benson, former first overall pick. I was actually he was a Pirates first-round pick the year that I was the intern there. I walked into Cam Bonifay's office. Bonifay was the general manager, and there's Chris Benson sitting on the couch. I think his agent and his parents were there with him. I think he was about to sign his contract. So I remember that vividly. And then Cam Bonifay, who didn't know my name or anybody else's name, said, just leave that here on the desk, Chief. He called everybody Chief. Kip Bachnight, he was a former Golden Spikes winner. I saw him pitch in the Rangers organization. Hubie Brooks. Hubie Brooks was a shortstop for Arizona State and then played in the big leagues, mostly with the Expos. He was really good. And he was an infielder, but I think he played more outfield with Montreal. Gene Hooks, Mike Lloyd, Mark McGuire. Well, there's one Hall of Fame McGuire will go into. Won't be the National Baseball Hall of Fame, but it will be the College Baseball Hall of Fame. Did you know he was a pitcher and a first baseman at the University of Southern California, and he also had a teammate at USC named Randy Johnson? Phil Nevin, David Price. Nevin, I think, was a first overall pick. Price was too. Seems to carry some weight, guys, if you were a first overall pick, because Steven Strasburg's also on this list, and he was a first overall pick, and so was Jeff King. Other coaches going in with Norm: Clint Evans, who was a longtime coach at Cal in the 30s into the 50s. Ray Fisher coached Michigan. I think they won a national title under Michigan. He was their baseball coach from 1921 through 1959. Les Murakami, head coach Hawaii from 68 through 97. Ray Tanner, who just retired as the athletics director at South Carolina and was their coach for 2 national championships, also coached NC State. And Jerry Weinstein, who is the coach at Sacramento City College, a really good, I think a JUCO program, but he's also known as the catching guy. He's a catching specialist. So those are all the guys that were inducted along with Norm DeBryan into the College Baseball Hall of Fame.
So as it pertains to Dave Van Horn, he does have a national championship in the eyes of this Hall of Fame, because it's Central not the Missouri. Division I Hall of Fame. It's the College Baseball Hall of Fame, and he did win a Division II national championship. So that will be on his resume when he retires, and I think he'll go in pretty fast because he does have a national championship.
He'll be a first
in all
ballot
those
guy.
DWS, yeah.
I think he'll be a first ballot guy.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm still here to tell you, I think Dave's going to coach another 5 to 6, if not longer than that, number of years. there's going to be a national title in there at Arkansas before he's done. I still have the faith for it. And there was JT on the text line angry that I even projected that they'll win the College World Series next year. It's all right, JT. It's like 360 days away. I don't know if the karma's going to quite last that long.
He needs to chill. So I had an interesting conversation with one of my neighbors who is an LSU guy that does not think that LSU would have won the national championship if Arkansas would have completed that ninth inning victory, in the what do you call the pool play, whatever you want to say, the bracket
bracket play, I guess.
And LSU would have had to play the next night. Now they might have beat Arkansas because their pitching was set up better than Arkansas. I'm guessing it's Ben Bobby and Dylan Carter the next day. Is that what? And then fill in the blanks.
I think that sounds about right. Parker Coyle too, because we never saw him in that first game.
Yeah. So those three guys. I mean, it's not like Arkansas was void of pitching. But LSU would have had to burn one of their aces in that game, and it would have meant that one of those, that 1-2 punch, would not have pitched in the first two games against Coastal. And you get to game 3, it's just like game 3 in Baton Rouge when Arkansas was there, and you remember what they did to LSU. They're not the same without one of those aces, so that the thought is among the LSU guys that they had to win that game against Arkansas,
and they did.
And they did, because if they had lost and played the next day while Coastal's resting and burned one of their aces, it wouldn't have been the same.
Hey, I want to remind you about the Clay Maxey Auto Group, always featuring a promise to provide a level of service that maximizes your drive at every step in your car ownership experience. Clay Maxey Auto Group believes in serving hometown communities through local partnerships, events, and programs. You'll find Clay Maxey Auto Group in Harrison, Mountain Home, Clinton, or Berryville. They're also online at claymaxeyautogroup.com, and they ask for the opportunity to maximize your drive today. Quick break. Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio stopping by halftime right after this.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Fill her up, please.
See dealer for details. Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway, Van Buren. There's never been a better time to buy. Stop in today and check out our huge discounts on new Chevrolets and pre-owns. No reasonable offer will be refused, and at Rhodes, we always give you more for your trade. Plus, we offer free pickup and delivery. You can even buy remotely. Stop in and let us show you the Rhodes way with our 2-year complimentary maintenance program on every vehicle sold. Experience the Rhodes way. Rhodes Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway, where you get the best prices, period.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Superior Siding and Windows have been improving homes in Fort Smith and the River Valley for over 44 years. Whether your need is siding, vinyl windows, doors, or gutters, Superior Siding is the one to call if you want it done right the first time. Call 479-646-7888 for a free estimate. 100% financing is available, and Superior Siding has AAA rating with Better Business Bureau. Superior Siding, your first call, 479-646-7888.
What do Formula One, the Peanuts cartoon strip, and Jay Leno all have in common with Crabtree RV Center? Yes, you guessed it. They are all celebrating 75 in 2025. Crabtree RV Center is so thrilled to have seen 75 wonderful years of business in the River Valley, and we want to celebrate with all of you. Come in today and take advantage of our 75-year anniversary sale going on every day at Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas. Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, parts, and rentals. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for 75 years.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Do you want to be home every weekend, use brand new equipment, and make a competitive salary? Then let me tell you about Lavorne Lumber. They're looking to fill a regional over-the-road position. So if this sounds like a great next job opportunity for you, call 479-646-4685. That's 646-4685. 515 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith and online at Lavorne, Lovvorn lumber.com. Lavorne Lumber. Paying the bills, we'll take care of you.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
My favorite nights, this superlighter. You said, please, won't you ask me? Stay the night up. I get around the house and she let me celebrate. Picking up a little bit of my rising. Good Lord, God, my car's on my back. Hush and bind the mist. So tired, push, dash, mama, just a smell of drip, and I'll slide her thinking into you.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, joining us on Halftime here. We missed him last week because the phones weren't working, but they're working now. Bill, happy Tuesday and happy talking season. How you doing?
Doing good, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, it is the, would you call this point of the year, since there's no more college baseball, this is, well, how do you refer to this? Because you've got a non-playing portion of the season when we're talking college football. There's a playing portion of the season, but what is the actual point? Because I know you're a college baseball guy. What is the end of the college baseball until the start of August camp? What do you call that?
Well, I probably within the last 5 years have, maybe just 3 years, love the baseball portal. And for schools like Arkansas and LSU who played real late, you're starting to add up those players, but you've got some more to add, and I enjoy that. Matter of fact, and I am a football guy. I was in the embryonic stages of all this recruiting stuff. I was in the lab as early as anybody on this planet. But football recruiting is so much more unpredictable and not nearly as fun as it used to be. I like the baseball portal better. Now, I don't like the sport better, But I really enjoy the baseball portal. I don't have a name for it. I just love it.
Well, what is it between those two sports that you think that the baseball portal is different and maybe more entertaining? Is it because there's no other sports happening?
No, I think some of it is because one of my organic ways that I started enjoying college baseball was Vanderbilt with Tim Corbett and then Tony Vitello. I think that's the attraction. Now, I love looking at what Arkansas is doing and LSU and Texas and A&M and whoever. But, no, I think geographical location led me in that direction. Plus, college football recruiting has been ruined in so many ways. December 72-hour signing period, killing the February 1st Wednesday crescendo that we used to build up to, the uncertainty. You get commitments now. They're not worth the words or the printed words on Twitter. That guy may sign and transfer the next month. It's just not fun.
Speaking of guys that I just saw BYU flip the number 49 recruit in the 2026 class, a kid from California. He's the number 5 pocket passer. Ryden Lyons is his name, and he said he's going to go on his mission too, so he's not even going to get to campus to 2027, but he was committed to Oregon. Are you familiar with his work?
Yeah, very good player, and those guys, as we all know, aren't kidding. We had a kid at our high school, a 6'4" quarterback about 7 years ago, committed to BYU, and he was sent up to French Canada for 2 years and lived it out. Those guys aren't kidding. And that kid ended up actually going to Virginia. But, yeah, he's a really good quarterback, and he'll be probably 21 when they get it.
Yeah, the highest-rated player they've got since 2002 as far as BYU football. And BYU basketball signed the number 1 recruit in the country. Do they have more money right now? Because what is so attractive about BYU?
Well, I think there's the religious connections usually, but the money, yes, absolutely. Now, with this house settlement, you can't just be flipping money around. So I don't know that they would have been able to get that done for the number we all read about in the new rules, which kick in here in about a week.
Well, Texas Tech certainly seemed to know when Judge Wilkin was going to make her decision, because they signed forget the name of the softball pitcher to another over $1 million NIL deal before the settlement was approved and before the date where you've got to start reporting these NIL deals. I mean, this next season for the schools that, I don't know if you use the word prepared for it, but maybe that is the right word. This is a one-off year. Like Texas Tech, I don't know the dollar figure they're throwing around for their team, but it's more than $20.5 million, quite a lot more than that. But this is the only year I think they'll be able to pull that off. Is that right?
There was a story on 24/7 by Brandon Marcello that says this year's Texas Tech football team will have a total salary of $50+ million.
Whoa.
Yes.
But you can't do that next year. I mean, it's like these are all NIL deals. What this whole house settlement deal is about is that the schools are buying the students' NIL rights. So then, you got to do your outside deals. They can't do an inside deal with the collective anymore, or at least that's the way we're supposed to view it. Bill, am I being Pollyannish about this?
Well, $20.5 million for the entire department. So whatever football is going to take up there, 15. The rest of it has to be outside collective deals approved by Deloitte. Now, the way they're telling us is Deloitte will approve anything that has a corporate attachment to it and its fair market value. And apparently they've got those values, at least they think they've got them figured out. But if it's some billionaire board alum who just wants to buy a championship, they're not going to approve that stuff. That's what they're telling us, at least.
Bill, I want to ask you a baseball question. Switch back real quick, and Bill had put some stuff on the rundown today. So Roch Chalosky, the kid from UCLA, Alex Lodice, the kid from FSU, and then Bahiva Aloy from Arkansas. All three shortstops all won the Player of the Year. Will you rank those guys for me? 1, 2, 3. Who would you want on your team?
I think the one with the most upside is the kid at UCLA. He's just a monster. He's 6'3", 6'4". He's long. He's athletic. I think if you're just looking at let's talk about football recruiting who's got the longest runway, it's that kid, I would think. Now, I'm not going to be the best baseball scout compared to football, but to me, that's what I saw. That kid, I really had not seen much of him until we got to Omaha and maybe some of the regionals, and he is so impressive.
I could ask you this too, Matt, both you and Bill. When I think of shortstops in college, and the three main awards for Player of the Year are all shortstops this year: Lodis, Chalowski, Aloy. We've seen really good shortstops at Arkansas, Bill, but they don't play shortstop in professional ball. They move somewhere else because shortstop is just a real premium position. Is there a position in football that you can correlate to shortstop in baseball? Like, you know what, you're really good at this here in college, but you're not going to play that position in pro ball.
Maybe corner, because that's such a unique position, and maybe you're more of a safety. Now, you better have the body type, because those are not the same body types. But maybe corner. You can play corner down here. Up there you can't.
What about a guy like a Jalen Milroe, even go back to a Tommy Frazier, a Cordell Stewart? What about the running quarterback? That's kind of because you put your best athlete kind of at quarterback, and so the running quarterback kind of the next level, you got to kind of go to a different position. That's what I would kind of correlate it to with the shortstops.
It would be, quarterback, and I would say left tackle. Left tackle is so unique. I think left tackle and corner is just as unique as quarterback. I'm not saying it's as important, but it might be, depending on your team. But I just think you can have a lot of left tackles out there, and you're not playing left tackle on Sunday. You may play right tackle. You may play right guard.
Probably play guard. That's right.
A couple of them.
Hey, Bill, before we let you go, I want to ask you about this lawsuit that Wisconsin has served Miami about this defensive back. I think his name is Xavier Lucas. That essentially put himself in the transfer portal. The Wisconsin coaches weren't going to allow him to do it. And he transferred to Miami anyway. There's now a lawsuit that Wisconsin has served the Miami athletic department over this. Is this the kind of thing where it may lead to finally getting to a place where schools have to admit that they need to pay the football players for actual games instead of NIL? Is that what this is about?
Well, it's about that. It's about Miami wanting to spend more money and buying him away. And we are told, again, a lot of things we've been told, guys, but in the new settlement, there's an arbitration type, dispute type process that is supposed to alleviate these type of situations, meaning a lawsuit. Now, it's kind of the same thing, not quite, but guys, again, we are Columbus, and we just hit the shore, and we're about to walk into this and find out what it's about. You know what I mean?
Not all of Columbus's men, not all of Columbus's men made it through the expedition, Bill. We may see the same thing in college football.
Correct. That's true.
Well, we always appreciate you hopping on, Bill. Thanks for your time today. And if you're around next, do you
it,
go on vacation in the summer? Do you do vacations?
No, we commit Mrs. Florida for 3 days, and we may go this year down to the beach in October, but I'll still do the show. I mean, I won't get to do anything.
Well, we always appreciate you hopping on with us, whether outside Nashville or down at Commitments or anywhere, Bill. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You got it. Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio. You can hear him 6 to 9 WNSR, and certainly worth some of your time. Also worth some of your time to get over to Joe's Grill and Cantina. Any day of the week, they always have outstanding specials like Throwback Thursday, features a rotation of Cuco's classics, and of course, Joe's Chips and Salsa, made every single day with fresh carrots. Joe's Grill and Cantina is at 3400 South 74th, right across from Harps and Fort Smith. Tex-Mex style with Joe's Grill and Cantina. Get over there today for Taco Tuesday. Gotta love Taco Tuesday. Now, stay with Halftime. We'll be back with Hall of Famer Clay Henry right after this for the home stretch.
Have fun storming the castle.
This is Halftime.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
See dealer for details. At Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway, Van Buren, there's never been a better time to buy. Stop in today and check out our huge discounts on new Chevrolets and pre-owns. No reasonable offer will be refused, and at Roads, we always give you more for your trade. Plus, we offer free pickup and delivery. You can even buy remotely. Stop in and let us show you the Roads way with our 2-year complimentary maintenance program on every vehicle sold. Experience the Roads way. Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway, where you get the best prices, period.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. You know, the life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. We dial 782-8940.
Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York High Efficiency HVAC unit. Or for more information on endless hot water and high efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
This I know, his teeth is white. What a gas it was. Walk her every day into a shady place. The lips she said.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hall of Famer Clay Henry is with us as well as we take you through the home stretch of halftime. We've got Clay with us tomorrow as well from noon until 2. You can get with us at 877-377-6963. That's our Lewis Automotive Hotline. We look back today as an anniversary of Andre Iguodala's drafting into the NBA. He would have been a Razorback had Coach Richardson still been the coach. I did not realize, though, Clay and Matt were talking off the air about all the other players that were supposed to join him in the same recruiting class. Who knows what those guys could have done?
Yeah, I wouldn't say the same recruiting class, but just lined up year after year. I think that without question, Mike Conley and Greg Oden were going to follow in a year or so.
The Solingers.
So there was one Solinger here. He got cut loose.
I played with J.J. Clay. Yeah, my freshman year he was on the squad. Yeah.
But there were more brothers that were coming. You know, Sarge, the dad, was really close to Nolan. And then, you know, Mike Conley Sr. and Nolan shared the same ranch. Nolan, when Mike went to Indianapolis for a new job, and Mike Jr., you know, then Mike and Mike Sr. set up that AAU team. Well, Nolan sent his van up there because they couldn't find a van that was tall enough for Greg Oden. And so they traveled around the country on that AAU circuit in that van, Mike Conley Jr. and Greg Oden, and they would have I've talked to Nolan about that, and he goes, yeah, they would have played for me. He says, every time Mike Conley Jr. comes to town, I stop what I do and go play golf with him. He's like a grandson to me. And so that would have, you know, I think that things were going to pick up. And, of course, the most famous cover that, you know, that was a non-Razorback was we used to do that recruiting magazine in late February for football signing, but Iguodala had signed early, and I talked to Nolan about putting Iguodala, Andre, on the cover for the recruiting magazine. You know, it was football recruiting, but I just thought he was cool. So he called his high school coach and his mom, and I took a photographer, and we went up to Springfield. And we strobed that gym and spent pretty much the day with Andre Iguodala, his mom, and we did. I mean, Andre was still coming, and when that magazine came out, and then of course Nolan was fired a few weeks later, and then you know that recruiting class fell apart. You know, they had Pookie. Pookie was in that class too, and he still came. But Iguodala and Pookie were in that same class. Just think about playing with those two guys with Nolan coaching. Matt, y'all would have been hell on wheels.
If you could have got him to pass, you know, if it score over a 17 on, averaged a double for a decade in the NBA. One of the best, Big Al. He was in that class too. If getting him to pass that test, he would have been there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and so that was fun to go up there and spend a day with Iguodala. Really smart kid, really sharp. He went and played for Lute Olson at Arizona instead of coming to Arkansas. But he was an incredible high school player. And there was another guard with him that went to Illinois. I can't remember his name. He was about 6'3" and about 215, looked like a linebacker, but he was a point guard.
Wasn't Deron Williams, was it?
No, that doesn't sound right. But he did play at Illinois. But I'll never forget his high school coach. We were sitting in his office, and he says, there's not a chance Nolan would be fired after this season. And, of course, that was before the, Kentucky explosion and all that. And I said, no, they're not going to fire him. They won the SEC tournament last year, and, he's got a good class coming. I think that, he's about to set off on another run. Of course, I was wrong. But
Well, I think
it's-
you would have been right. It just something happened where he wasn't able to. But I think if Nolan would have been here another 5-6 years, yes, there would have been another Final Four.
That'd been another run. And I mean, but Mike Conley Jr. he went to Ramey Junior High, but he was going to come back and play for Nolan without question. And you would have had, I guess Odin was the first overall pick, wasn't he? I mean,
he was.
Yeah, I mean, he just blew out a foot or a knee
Ronnie
or
Brewer
something.
from Fayetteville High would have been.
He
there.
would have played. He would have played for Nolan. Yeah, I mean,
So Odin and Conley ended up at Ohio State.
Correct.
Iguodala went to Arizona, and then where did Jefferson go?
He's
I'm looking him up on
high school.
Yeah,
kid.
he didn't get.
Yeah,
he
went
went
straight
to the
to the
NBA.
NBA.
He was. Yeah,
I remember Mike Anderson talking to me about him, Clay, about hey, there's this big kid because I was in study hall or whatever we were doing, and he's like, man, if we get this kid from Mississippi, he's like, watch out, we're just trying to get him to be able to pass the ACT.
Yeah. Well, that was a fun trip to Springfield, Illinois, to meet Andre's family. The mom was a student at ORU or Roberts when Nolan was head coach at Tulsa and was getting things started there. And she adored Nolan. She just, she was so excited that her son was going to play for Nolan.
877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline. You can't help but think what could have happened, right? And I mean, it was all these years later, and maybe you were thinking that 2 years afterwards.
Yeah, and it's just sad the way it went down, and I'm so pleased though the way Coach Cal has embraced Nolan and the history of Arkansas and the way Nolan has gravitated back to the program, and that's really good vibes there. It's hope we have a lot more games with Nolan in the stands to watch the Razorbacks.
And speaking of that, Clay, have you ever seen anything like Norm DeBryan? Talking about a coach that done coaching there, and even Saban. They were like, Saban's going to keep office at Alabama. It didn't stay for 6 weeks, and then he was in the media. But Norm's still around, just so beloved by everybody up there for the baseball program.
Well, and if they need something, he still has the resources. When I'm saying he still has the resources, he's still close to some of the top boosters that, including Johnny Mike, Walker, and he's an asset for baseball and really the other sports too. But it's I saw him at Omaha and talked to him a little bit, and he went out on a golf outing, some kind of a little tournament. I don't know whether it was for Razorback Foundation folks or it had something to do with the College World Series, but he played golf while he's up there. 82, still can hit it. Here's trivia: he will be the only left-handed catcher in the College Baseball Hall of Fame.
I'd forgotten that detail about Norm.
That's the trivia, right?
Was a left-handed catcher. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, do you know another left-handed catcher?
Benny DiStefano.
Really? Okay. All right.
But that was not, I think the last time that there was ever a major league catcher caught left-handed, it was DiStefano in '87.
Yeah.
There might have been 5 of them all time.
I sent Norm a text yesterday, and I said, congratulations, the first left-handed catcher into the Hall of Fame. Oh, and he says, you're the only one that remembers that. So now a lot of other people will. I know there's some people around that know Norm's background and know he was a catcher, and also know that he plays golf left-handed, and he's a lefty.
But you know what Norm did? What he also did, and it's different from a lot of these other coaches too. He stayed at the university and joined the Razorback Foundation. In fact, I think
I used to run into him, and I'd go and eat with Dino. Like
Yeah.
So a couple years, I'd see him every other week. It seemed like. Yeah.
The first meal I ever had, I was taken out to lunch with the people with Learfield. It was IMG then. The first meal I ever had after getting hired by the Razorbacks to do baseball games was with Coach DeBryan. It wasn't with Dave. I'd already eaten with Dave filling in, but it was with Norm at Sassy's and a few other IMG people, just because he was part of the crew that was in on hiring me. I mean, think about that. He was in on something like that on hiring the radio announcer, which to me shows that's somebody that really enjoys and appreciates every aspect of the program that he helped build, but lets the man do his work. But I just wonder what it must feel like. Like, I don't, I see Roy Williams in the stands at the North Carolina Super Regional games. I know he goes to their home games at the Dean Dome, but Roy also coached, I think, while Dean was still alive. So, I mean, there's that little tradition a little bit, but it's got to feel a little odd. Here's this legend that I'm trying to live up to, and he's in the stands and he's watching us work, and I wonder what he thinks about what we're doing here. But with Norm, he just doesn't have an ego.
Well,
it never felt
just
like
think
that.
about it in these terms. He walks into the locker room. He can walk in and everybody's glad to see him. And Dave's comfortable in his own skin. All the coaches, they consider him to be a resource and eyes. Like what do you see? Well, and I guarantee you they ask him that because I've been in their presence and heard it. But how about this? He goes into the locker room and takes holy water in his scrolls or whatever you want to call it, and blesses Cam Kozel's bat and glove, and all the other players are like, well, what's going on over there? And so I think Cam told him, he says, well, you need to bless the locker room. So he went around and sprinkled holy water all around the locker room. He didn't just bless Cam, he blessed the whole team. So it's there is no one like him in college baseball. He is the one and only.
And that is the opposite of one of my favorite scenes in Bull Durham. You know the scene. The guy can't get a base hit, so he's got his little voodoo chain that he's bouncing up and down on the bat. What are you, a witch? Yes, a switch hitting witch. It would be the opposite of somebody tossing holy water in a locker room. And Shea Hamilton, who used to be the SID for baseball at Arkansas, makes a tremendous point. You think Norm DeBryan was teaching catchers that were right-handed throwers, but he's teaching them as a left-handed thrower. That's completely different footwork, totally different body. I mean, it's all different. That's why there aren't left-handed catchers. And he was still able to teach them, and we're talking about really good catchers like Tom Pagnozzi.
Yeah, Tom was a third baseman in junior college, came to Arkansas, and he said, hey, the quickest way to the big leagues is if you catch. And you're a third baseman that doesn't hit home runs. Tom was famous for taking two and hitting it to right field as a right-handed hitter. Taught him how to catch. And, I mean, you go back, and Norm and Dave have always had good catchers. And that's you better have good I mean, that's one of the reasons I feel good about this baseball team next year. And I don't even know all that's going to be on it, but I know they're going to have leadership from Kozel and Ryder Helfrich through the middle of the field. I fear they're going to lose Justin Thomas. He took off and he's draft eligible. I thought he would come back, but man, his Omaha just I don't think he'll go in the draft now and sign.
A little less than a month until that draft happens. And speaking of catching something, we got to catch a break. Our last break of the show. We'll be back. Wrap up halftime right after this.
She's a peacock. You got to let her fly, man. Or your girl, Fat Amy in Pitch Perfect. It's like she's a free-range pony. You got to let her go, man. Let her neigh.
This is halftime.
This Friday and Saturday in historic downtown Van Buren, it's the first annual Old Town Smokeout. Several competitions to make this weekend fun and unique. There will be an amateur series, a master series, ribs competition, and of course one for the kiddos, a kids competition. Total payouts of $9,800. Come on down and try some barbecue, swing by the kids zone, and shop till you drop in historic downtown Van Buren. For more information, visit oldtownvanburen.com or call 479-922-6862. Brought to you by the Old Town Merchants Association and the Kansas City Barbecue Society.
Summer is here, and Gelco Outdoors has the outdoor gear for you. Hiking boots by Salomon, running shoes by Under Armour, fishing shoes by Extra Tough and Under Armour, dry fit fishing and outdoor clothing by AFCO, Ariat, Drake, Hook, and Under Armour. Take advantage of the hot summer deals on summer clothing with buy one, get the second at 50% off. See store for details. For all your summer fishing, Gelco has the gear. Hunters, get ready for bow season. Gelco Outdoors, your one-stop summer store. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salasol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salasol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salasol.
Whether you're opening your first checking account, purchasing your first home, saving for your first big vacation, or opening a new business, First Star Bank offers hometown service with the latest in digital banking technology. Our local team makes banking fast, convenient, and easy. From simple everyday banking to helping you fulfill your dreams, our team is here to guide you every step of the way. First Star Bank. We'll be there through all your firsts. Learn more at firststar.bank or stop by one of our local branches today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission's simple: improve the quality of life in our communities. We've expanded to several non-member areas to help new communities. If you live in areas near Altus, Branch, Coxville, Mountainburg, Murray, Spur, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect may be available to you right now. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect will continue opening new areas throughout 2025.
Destiny is a matter of choice, and dinner is a matter of how much Taco Bell you want. Good thing you can choose from the $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes to match what you're craving. What does your destiny hold? The classics for $5, the faves for $7, or a feast for $9 featuring the new crispy chicken burrito? Oh, why is Destiny holding them all? Someone help her. Choose your Lux Cravings box only at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Kofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Axis wake surf boats, Caymas bass boats, and Kofer's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Plus, they have the best boat storage option in town. Find them online at Kofers.com. That's COPHERS.com. Kofer's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Before you, that's what I said. Now, princess, you adore you. Just in his pockets, and that's not real now. This one said he wants to buy you rockets, ain't in his head now.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
It just brings back all the memories, a very specific way of dancing to Spin Doctors or Blues Traveler. It's the same kind of dance that you would dance with if you're at the, well, it looks just like the Dancing Bear, just like you're at a Grateful Dead concert. You know that look. It's pretty much what it's going to be like at the Momentary when Spin Doctors and Gin Blossoms and Blues Traveler play in October. Maybe we can get tickets to that, Matt. I don't know. Or
man, that'd be cool.
That'd be kind of fun. We've already seen the Black Keys before, you know, with Miss Mina Kimes Jr. was there with me too.
Now that was what was cool about that. That was fun. Introducing Sadie to her first ever rock concert, and her be like, you know what, these Black Keys are pretty cool. That was fun.
She
Plus
said
the
that?
Razorbacks. She did. She had no idea who they were. You know when she realized that the Black Keys are a big deal? When she saw how many followers they have on Spotify.
Well,
That's
Clay,
how kids know.
Dan Auerbach, who is their lead singer, he came out there in a fishing shirt. You would have loved it. I thought of Clay Henry right away.
It's like little Orvis showing through.
Yeah. Now, how many times do you think he's fished in that shirt?
It's really his guitar playing shirt when it comes down
There,
to it.
you think if you
Well,
it's
they're
breathable.
they're vented in the back, and so
Very
they're
smart.
Yeah. So hey,
That's what I
my
need to
Orvis
wear.
shirt got me in the back way to Omaha. Man, you think fly fishermen don't have an advantage? Sometimes they do. But I think Bubba was jealous. I mean, he had to walk all the way around the stadium in '95, and they took me in a service entrance because I had an Orvis hat on, and took me right up the elevator to the press box. I beat Bubba by 20 minutes, I think.
You just walk with Bubba next time, and he'll
Make him go with me.
Yeah. Hey, Clay, we'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Thank you. Enjoyed it, guys.
Looking forward to it. Of course, we'll have Clay Henry tomorrow, 12 until 2. We're on the air for halftime, 11 until 2. Ruskin and Zach coming up in a moment. Eastside Liquor halftime podcast ready to go in just a few moments, too. Thank you very much, C Podcast. And for Matt Jones, C Unit, Clay Henry, I'm Phil. Thanks for listening. That's halftime. Now get up, get out, and get better.
Up to 11.